Welcome everybody to another match in the AusDraft 2.0 tournament. Here we have Team Rayzor versus Team Kiwi. We're playing the map Bedouins. As you see, it is a nomad map, very similar to African Clearing from the ranked ladder pool. And we've got some funky positions coming up here. For Team Rayzor, we've got Slater as the Khmer right out here in the middle of the map. And then all three of his teammates, starting with Rayzor as the Burmese, followed by Vamir as the Japanese, and then the real hot soup as Chinese, all in a line down the far side of the map. So essentially, Slater is stuck in the middle by himself in a 1v3-ish situation. So, for the other side, for Mr. Team Kiwi, we have Zack Attack as the Hindustanis at the top of the map, followed by Kiwi in the middle as the Malians. Nearby, we have Nagus as the Incas, and then all the way down the bottom, we've got Drogoth as the Persians. So we've got a lot of Cav Civs for Kiwi's team, and basically no ranged units whatsoever. Incas could make Arbs and Slingers if necessary, but they're probably going to be going, Eagle Kamiok. Hindustanis is obviously going to be doing Camels. Malians is Knights and Camels, and then Persians are Paladin. Yeah, I'm quite confused by the two picks as well. Like, I feel like Koreans should be such a hard carry for this map. Like, wagons just roaming around, riding underneath TCs, killing vills, seems like a pretty good idea in my mind. Kamioks are ranged units. I mean, if we want to be technical, sure, they are ranged units. Well, let's just speed up a bit, make sure that we are at the live time. But unfortunately, the problem with nomad maps like this is we just sort of sit here and not a lot goes on at the start of the game. We do see a significant vill lead for Team Rayzor already, though. Right, we've got a 4 vill lead at this point already. Some of that is going to come from the Chinese player. Right, he's got a stick lead, but like even so, like we've got 8-8, and only one player on Kiwi's team has hit 8 vills yet. Doesn't Kiwi's civs rely on farming, and is that even guaranteed? Um, Not really. Like there's honestly, you can play an entire game without making a farm if you have enough safe ponds. Like every single one of these shorefish has 250 food instead of the standard 200. So they're buffed a little bit that way, and then there's just a bajillion ponds with, 17 fish in each of them. So some quick math, 17 by 250 is a lot of food. Game sounds or music? That is music in the background. I can turn that off if that's a little bit annoying. Let's go take a look at the scouting, see if they know where any of the enemies are. They know where the relics are. There's one, two... Yeah, they've actually scouted out most of the relics anyway. But so far, they've got no idea where any of the enemies are. They just know where they aren't. 340k food on this map. Oh, yeah, that's true. I can just scroll out and double-click on a fish. Yeah, there is a shit ton of food on this map. it's kind of insane. And then, like, there's also, there's sheep, and there's boars, and there's berry bushes. Like, there's food for days, as long as you've got enough map control to take it. So in some ways, that is a benefit, having all three players in this top corner, is they can mutually defend each other. You could potentially see, some team walls connecting these wood lines through the middle of the map. But then the other problem is you're sort of giving up a lot of map control, because yellow, red, orange can just sort of march across the map towards them, gobbling up fish and resources along the way. What elo are we looking at? We've got a mix of players on each team, ranging from approximately 1400 up to 2k4. We've got a draft tournament where the best players in the Oz New Zealand community pick which players they want to be on the team, like sports in school, and then we're battling it out. So in theory, most of the teams should be relatively balanced. It's just a question of, how well can you adapt and use, or I guess minimize the weaknesses of the weakest players and maximize the strengths of the strongest players. Right, because like obviously your weakest player versus their strongest player is going to lose, right? You need to find a way for them to still be useful for the team. Oh, and speaking of team walls, we're seeing them start to come up across the top of the map, and we have a pause as well. While this is going on, let's just take a look at their line of sight, see what they know. Okay, they know about purple. They probably know that red is here because they've lost 2 sheep. They probably know that orange is down here because they've lost this sheep. But they don't know that this is where Rayzor is at this stage. Now, flicking back to the other point of view, they don't know that green's there yet, but some of these sheep will probably find him very soon. And no scanning at all at the top. This is potentially very dangerous for Rayzor's team because they don't know where they need to save. Oh, what? Super frozen. Okay, and he's unfrozen. Okay, excellent. No worries. He had 6 seconds of idle time. It's not a problem. But yeah, so because they've got so little actual knowledge of where the enemies are, it's quite difficult to make accurate plans of what to do. I think it makes sense for Purple to play Feudal Age, because he's so far away from the rest of the team, he can't really rely on them helping him anytime soon, so he needs to be able to help himself. Communication is super important here, decision making way better if the high elo can wane during the game. Oh, 100%. Yeah, recognizing what the game situation is, recognizing, who can boom, who can not boom, who has the time and the space to get to Castle Age, get to the late game is really strong. Oh, really important, I should say. Because you don't want to go too all in and let one player get to Imp and then roll you over with Cavalier spam, for instance. Let's see from Kiwi. Kiwi is going for a stable. He's up pretty fast as the Mullions. You are Khmer. I don't think you have to build the barracks because, obviously the Khmer bonus. But having access to spears doesn't seem like a horrible idea if you're thinking that there's going to be a 1v1, right? If you think that... Oh, Kiwi didn't finish the house. If you think that, for instance, like if you knew you're fighting Kiwi, if Kiwi makes a couple of spears, if you don't have any spears yourself, you can't really effectively fight them, right? Because of the unit disadvantage there. I wonder if Negus will finish this wall though, before the scouts come in. Ooh, still no scouting of that. They have lost a sheep down here. Okay, so they have figured out maybe that there is somebody down in this section, and it looks like they've lost a sheep up here, so they know where they put that. And knows where Grey is. So they've got half the team figured out at this point. And it does look like Negus will finish this wall. Oh, he's rushing it up for some reason. Oh, let's flick to his point of view. Well, he does know that purple's there, and he knows that purple's Feudal Age, so it does make sense to do that. Go away, box. Thank you. No! Why is the box staying there? There we are. Okay, thank you. Kiwi is out, roaming the map, trying to raid somebody, it seems. But he hasn't really found anything quite yet. Green is just playing completely open. I don't know if I like this. If I'm being honest. It's risky, right? He could quite easily do at least like a little bit of a wall around this bottom side to prevent too much attack coming in. Oh. Purple scouts are not getting anything done right here. Hello, it looks like you're trying to adjust the fog settings, Clippy. Yeah, exactly. Like, it knows what I want to do, but then it's just not listening to me. So glad these games are played with shared vision. I mean, I think that is one of the best changes that the devs have done in a long time. Was adding in shared vision as default for competitive ranked games. It just makes the game so much smoother, right? You don't have to worry about some guy who's unable to type at the same time as playing, essentially just killing you because you can't coordinate an attack or a defense or something. Okay, we're seeing double ranges from red. He's almost got the resources to click up. Just does not have the building is the issue. Down the bottom here, what's orange going for? Orange is up to castle. Is heavily on stone. Not enough for a castle though, so I guess we're going to see some TCs, probably? Maybe, I'm not sure where he's going, to be honest. I would like... The TC there makes a lot of sense. Secure some stone, secure some more fish. Oh, we've got another pause. So is this an FC map? Quite frequently. What's this flashing light? Oh, it's a village glowing up. It very much depends on where you spawn, right? Because if like purple had a teammate next to him, then it's quite possible that you could do, fast scouts backed up by FC crossbows, and you try to get into somebody's base, right? But if you're this far away from the enemy, it doesn't make a lot of sense to be playing for feudal age because you're just never really going to be able to do anything effectively because the amount of time it takes to get there is there's such a huge travel distance, right? By the time you get to their base, they'll be walled, or they'll have their own defensive army, or extra TCs that they're sitting under, right? Why does the fish boxes hurt my eyes? Um, no, just pause. No reason why. Um, I mean, I guess the fish boxes could be annoying. For me, I like it because it makes it much easier to see which fish are actually there, especially when I'm actually playing the game, and I'm too lazy to turn off my mods for casting. Okay. Oh, purple scouts are coming around. We might see a vill kill eventually. Green has lost one villager already somewhere. I don't know where it was, but purple has killed one vill somewhere. Is Hindu the team bonus with plus building attack for scouts? That is true. That is their bonus. It could quite easily come in handy in this sort of a situation. Oh my god. Orange is going for a 4 TC boom. This is sort of the power of Chinese, right? They just have such a sick eco lead to begin with that they can sort of just transition into whatever they want to do. If they're close to an enemy, they can castle drop and chooks, or they can go, archery ranges and crossbows. They can do, a not exactly great version, but they can do Monk Siege. This woodline is open, but there's only 2 scouts. Oh, he does notice in time. Very good job there, Drogoth. We're seeing the Inca player just going straight booming on the way. So I guess booming for Eagle Warriors is probably the play for Mr. Negus. Grey's also booming, so I think we're going to have a very, very long long game here, where not a lot is going on, by the looks of it. Like, there's a decent number of crossbows for red. Kiwi has a decent number of scouts. Oh, he does get into the woodline. Oh, this is big. This is big, and these scouts are also getting upgrades. They got armor coming in, they got bloodlines not far away. Oh, no, Vamir. Oh, this is so many vills that are going to die. Just, send the fisty boys. Oh, the spears are trying to get over here, but there's so many vills dead already. 0-6. Another one's going to go down at least, and then the scouts should just fail. Yep. Oh, that's unfortunate not getting that wall off. And Renroth, thank you very much for the sub. Cheers for the support. And we see Rayzor up here. He's making a couple of knights. He's also adding a second stable while doing 3 TCs. I'm not sure what the plan is long term for Burmese. I would expect him to be getting into a Rambai during the mid game if he wants to play Heavy Castle Age. But potentially he's just going to boom for elephants. That could definitely also be on the cards. I'm not sure how great an idea elephants are when you know that there's Incas who's potentially doing help Kamiyok. Kiwi is getting Lycab. He's only got the 3 scouts though. I don't know if Lycab's worth it for 3 scouts, one of which is that heavily injured already. Especially if you're going to kill them attacking a TC like that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Kiwi recognizes, oh, that's not worth it. Let's cancel that, save those resources. Because he's behind on his boom, right? He's done a decent amount of damage right there. But because he was in feudal age for so long, he's adding his TCs, the slowest out of all the players in the game. But saying that, his team does have a pretty solid build lead, thanks to those raids and the fact that, just all of them are big booming. Purple's got a second TC, got a couple of knights out, but not really getting out and about to do any damage at this point. I assume that there's been a little bit of a tussle back and forth with some scouts and knights poking each other. Oh, that sound came in really late. Oh yeah, no, thank you, man. I really do appreciate it. I like this TC over here, secures the gold and a little bit more wood. This mill here is a little bit exposed. Oh, and here comes red. Okay, crossbows are coming in, trying to get some revenge. Picking up some vills for free, which is nice. And green cannot fight this whatsoever. Upgrade, he's only got the first armor upgrade. He's got no bloodlines, no attack, no second armor, which is the thing that he really needs to fight this many crossbows. This is where blue team will feel cramped, though. Yeah, 100% agree. Like, the big stone walls that they're doing makes them nice and safe, which is lovely. But they're just going to run out of stone and gold and fish at some point. Oh boy, and we're seeing the castle coming forwards from orange. And orange has a very sick population here. 78 vills. The instant 4 TC boom is going pretty well. And honestly, this castle, sorry, I would just build it 2 tiles further forwards. Right? There's nothing really stopping you. Get it closer to the TC, closer to the other buildings, kill more stuff. I think at this point, green is going to have to accept the fact that he's going to die. And then the rest of the team needs to do their best to carry. I don't like the Castle Age switch from Nagus, though. I think I would rather have him boom for Imperial Age, and then have, you know, the Hindustani or the Marleyan player pivot to heavy camels. Or, like, heavy camel production. So that they can... Well, I guess the crossbows are here, so, like, maybe Marleyans do heavy knights, and then the Hindus do heavy camels, and then rely on eagle raids, and then eventually Kamioks to sort of try to carry you through the late game. Yeah, all these vills need to be running as quickly as possible, I think. The problem is, where does he run? Because purple is sort of like in the way of him and his teammates. And if he does run fast to the north, then he's going to be stuck in the issue where there's even less resources to go around if all 4 players are stuck in the top. Blue team has no clear trade. Yeah, that is true, but there is a lot of gold on this map. Let's double click on one. Yeah, there's almost 200,000 gold. Like, there's enough gold to go around until mid-imp if you have map control. Right, the issue is the having of map control. In theory, yellow through orange should just be chilling with trade. Right, you just need to get out here, get off the team walls, and then they can trade. But you also don't want to be too safe with your walls, because then you just lose access to all the golds and stones out through the middle. Green's now going for +2 armor. But he is definitely lagging behind in villages, and we're seeing Rayzor's team starting to catch up. They're only 10 mils behind now. They were up to 20 mils behind earlier. This music makes me feel like I'm sneaking into a rich white person's house. This is just the Age of Empires soundtrack. What do you want about? I never realized the AoE music was rich white person music. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that is a castle. Yeah, there's nothing going to stop that. That's 100% going up. And, like, imagine if Blue hadn't made all these eagles and instead was up to Imperial Age. He just builds his own castle and trebs it down, and then he's chilling. Instead, he's made a bunch of Castle Age eagles that can't really fight the Castle Age knights very well. Yeah, I just don't like that decision. Good evening, Wally. How's it going? Hope you're having a nice Sunday. By the way, it is Father's Day here in Australia, so make sure you wish your dads a happy Father's Day. This is just unfortunate. So much of Green's eco is just unable to really work. And because he's lost access to so much of the fish, he doesn't really have good food income. Okay. Orange has started up quite a lot of farms. Red, nope, just continuing to mill. Rayzor, nope, continuing to just TC and mill ponds. Grey has a lot of farms. Blue has quite a lot of farms as well, right? Like, this is the other issue with being stuck in the corner like this. You just don't have access to the ponds, and investing this heavily into farms is just less efficient than taking the fish. And we see here, orange is up to him. Also switching to their own camels. So I guess there's some in the middle of the map somewhere. And then there's some at home trying to defend these raids. So every player is essentially doing lots of cav units, basically, at this point. My father's did all the sexy dads. Of course. Yeah, Purple's going to take a little bit of a sausage, but he's going to have 2 castles to defend himself soon. Like, he could even just come up here and start to take this fish relatively safely under the castle if he wanted to. Oh, you can't fit in the TC. That is unfortunate. That's a lot of vills going down. But the vill counts are still, you know, not that far apart at this stage. I think the scary thing is going to be Grey getting up to Imperial Age and then getting Imp Camels soon. We're also seeing forward siege, so we're going to see some siege elites coming out in the very near future. And we do finally see Nagus clicking up to Imp as well. So we're going to see the Eagle spam or the cameo transition at some point, which is what I want to see. Sometimes find faster working TCs Persians is hard to maintain. Yep, that is definitely a factor to keep in mind. So like you will very rarely, I think, see a Persian player going for more than 3 TCs because their 3 TCs is so effective already, right? Their 3 TCs is essentially, you know, almost 4 for every other civ. So it's also okay to, you know, stay on 2 TCs for a little bit, get your eco upgrades, and then add the 3rd TC once you've got a little bit of extra farm eco. The big issue here I see is that Rayzor's team, you've only got one player who's in Imp. Rayzor's got no food in the bank at the moment, so he can't click up anytime soon. Purple's kind of dead, and Red has not made a lot of villages, or has taken a lot of raids. Not really any raids since Feudal Age. I guess the big wood raid in Feudal Age does slow down your eco expansion, because you just can't afford to add more TCs. That is something to keep in mind. But yeah, you're gonna have 3 players in Imp versus 1 very, very shortly. And you're gonna have Imp Camels. I assume you're just gonna have Cavalier. Maybe you're gonna have Cavalier and Camels from Kiwi, and then Elite Eagles from Nagus. Because I think this is potentially gonna be quite a scary force. The issue is just the huge crossbow mass that Red has, right? You got nearly 50 crossbows. Grey, you have to stay back. You have to wait. You don't want to be going anywhere near crossbows before you have +4 in Heavy Camel. And like honestly, ideally, you want to wait for the Imperial Camel as well, just for the extra survivability against crossbows. Because camels are very, very sad. Oh, no, don't do this. Keep running. Flee. Flee for your lives. Oh, but the eagles are here. The eagles are coming. Okay, this is much nicer. This is what we want to see. Low-key Burmese champions. Super solid. Yeah, I guess just an infantry mix. Halbs and champs to counter all the eagles and the infantry. Sorry, the eagles and the camels. The issue with that is it's very immobile army, right? You have to force a fight by essentially being aggressive, and they're not in a position to be aggressive at this stage, I don't think. Just because you've got 3 players in Imp versus 1. They almost need to rush up stone walls and defend themselves. While we're waiting, we do see Cavalier as well for orange, which I didn't recognize. So he's just going to essentially defeat green by himself. So we're going to have a big 1v1 down here on the bottom side with green just trying to die as slowly as possible. And while this is going on, you would hope to see the rest of the teams pushing really hard at the top. And it does look like the advantage is going the way of Kiwi's team. Heavy Camels, we don't have Imp Camels just yet. We've got Heavy Camel coming in for Rimba and Armor coming in for Kiwi. Honestly, I would rather see Cavalier instead of the Camels, honestly. You've already got a big Camel player. I feel like you want Cavaliers to get out on the map and start raiding. You want them to fight the Eagles. Well, the Eagles fight the Arbs. Well, crossbows. You can't really fully rely on Eagles only. I think because they are a good unit, but they're also a flimsy unit, right? They've only got 60 HP, so if they take a bad fight, they can just roll over and die quite quickly. Investing quite a few resources here trying to protect Drogoth. I think Drogoth just needs to run villages somewhere, right? If he can get 20 or 30 vills anywhere else that's not going to die, I think that would be brilliant in helping him reboot back into the game after he dies. Cav also kills champs, which makes the Eagles better. Yep, 100%. 100%. And it's just like better synergy, right? So you got, instead of 2 players making the exact same unit, essentially, you have a bit of mix going on. I also wouldn't mind it if Grey would back up and wait for Imperial Camel. What's his eco like? Grey. He's got a lot of food, not a lot of gold at this point. Which is the issue, right? Because they've been stuck in the corner for so long, they're starting to expand to these golds and stones, but it's just going to take a little bit of time to get into that situation. But I think all of these fights are going to be going in their favor, for the most part. We do now see Rayzor and Vamir up to Imperial Age. Slater is probably not going to go in for a long time. He's just in the same position as Green, just slowly dying. And then their 2 ecos are going to slowly intermingle and merge, and then they can just peacefully farm next to each other. I think that's what they should be doing. Oh, no, those are just sheep. I like the forward castle. I like the armored elephants. get in there, start bashing down those buildings. Oh, and we do see the champion switch coming in from Rayzor. And we're definitely going to miss the fact that there's no Cavalier from Kiwi, but he is getting Cavalier himself. He's starting to make the transition. I have taken a pretty non-ideal fight in that point, but the castle does go up though. You're going to be able to keep this push going in. I would really love it if any of the players would just take a small number of their units and try to get into the eco and get raiding. Right? Just like 4 or 5 eagles just spreading out through this farming eco, killing some villas here and there, causing a distraction, forcing them to react, I think would definitely be ideal. But, oh, okay. Kiwi is just hard pushing, hard killing Slater right now. We even see I guess Castle Age douche or Imperial Age douche should be allowed. Is Fabric Shield in for Incas? That's a good question. Let's click on one. Come on, click. Nope, we've only got 4+4 at the moment. We are missing the last armor upgrade, but they've got all the other upgrades though. But yeah, full blacksmith right here, right now. And honestly, the Inca player can also build forward ranges and add in some oh, there it is. There's the Fabric Shield tech. Add in some slingers. I guess Hindustanians can also add in camels if you're worried about the champions. Quite saying that after all this, the villain army numbers are equal. Yeah, that is quite impressive. The problem is that most of the fighting is like the 2 dead players killing each other, right? So everybody else is just got a relatively safe eco. Okay, yeah, Kiwi's Xing down here. He's telling somebody to go raid. And it looks like that is going to be Nagus. Yep. Running around with the Arbs. We've got a lot of Arbs running around with the Eagles. We've got a lot of Arbs just wandering around with no real plan at the moment, it seems. I feel like Vamir shouldn't even be worrying about the Eagles, if I'm being honest. Arbs are just not good at Eagle fighting, right? Tell Orange, deal with it, and then send the Arbs forward. Or, you know, in support of Yellow would be my suggestion. Well, we're starting to see the archery range switch. Have we seen chemistry is the unknown question at this point. Is it choppy for everyone? Please let me know if it is, because I'm not dropping any frames, so it shouldn't be anyone... shouldn't be having any issues. And on my end, at least, looking at this, it feels fine. Kiwi is continuing to kill purple, and we're starting to see a little bit of a Vil lead striking up for Kiwi's team, but there is a pretty decent army lead for Rayzor. Most of which, I think, is Rayzor just having an absolute crap ton of infantry, which is quite, you know, cheap and easy to spam, and then there's a huge Arb army somewhere. Okay. In the middle of the map, just patrolling forwards, it seems. But yeah, I like this. I like Nagus getting the Eagles in, getting the raids going, being just a little pest. Getting there, harassing those vills, forcing them to worry about it, have to react, have to constantly hear these attack notifications that we're hearing right now. And we do see the hand cannon switch coming in. These just not have anywhere near enough hand cannons to take a good fight. I mean, I think if Kiwi brought all the Cavalier over, they might be okay, but they can't afford to take it with just a hodgepodge tiny amount of their army. They're just wasting a lot of Grey's camel mass right there. And to be honest, you don't really care if you lose infantry because they're just so damn cheap. Oh boy. I wonder if Purple has actually run any villages. Not really. This seems to be the furthest south that he's gone. So he is definitely still in a position where he could just get outright defeated if things don't go his way. He's just mass building TCs though to try to... They're just coexisting and trying to mine the gold. But the TC's like, nope, you're not allowed to do that. Right. Infantry and bomber cannons versus cavaliers and the hand cannons. The hand cannons have the extra range. They do not yet. Oh, now they do. Excellent timing, Robo. I should look at the text more often. Persian seems a good pick for green. The extra HP. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely it's the best civ to die slowly with, right? Because your TCs just take forever to kill. You're douching a castle drop. I love it. Oh, and he's trying to wall in the hills as well. That's nice. But yeah, that's not really the important part of the game. Up here, I mean, where did Red's arbs go? Is actually an important question. Oh, they're over here. Okay, we've actually got a decent-sized fight going in the middle of the map. I think the issue is that you have a Chinese player playing full Cavalier, which is just not ideal, right? Chinese are they're a decent cav civ, right? They've got all the upgrades for Cavalier and fully upgraded heavy camels, but there's nothing special about them. You know, like Persians, they've got Paladin, they've got extra attack against archers. Malians have got Farimba. The Indians, or the Hindustanis, sorry, they've got Imperial Camels. Like, they've all got something going for them that makes them better. And the Chinese are just vanilla cav with a good eco behind it. I mean, we're starting to see a little bit of a Chukonu switch. Potentially helps. But, oh, yeah, there's quite a few Chuks roaming around now. 2 Robo streams in a month? I must be in heaven. It's actually more than that now. I think this is stream number 4 this week. It was Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and then there'll be another stream tomorrow as well. There'll be the final match of round 1, which is Team Shed versus Team Salad at 11 GMT tomorrow. And then I'll get a couple of days break while the rest of the matches are scheduled, and then we'll be back again for next week. But yeah, this is going to be non-stop games for like a month and a bit. Rayzor's team now has a score lead. Real Hot Soup must be having a crazy game. He's got a lot of eco kills, but a lot of them seem to be from Drogoth, which, you know, as we said earlier, doesn't really matter. Slaters has lost a ton of kills as well, though. I guess the Cavalier army is doing decent against the Mass Eagles, and we're forced to see a bit of a pike switch without Halberdier, which is definitely a little bit rough. Oh, I love these walls, though, from Grey. They recognize that they're losing a bit of ground. You chuck down all the walls, buy time, and you're also going to deny these raids to the middle of the map as well, which is going to be absolutely massive. The difficult part is walling the middle of Purple's base. He did say in a month, and September is only 3 days old. I mean, okay. In September alone, there's only been 2 streams. That's true, Saturday and Sunday. I will concede the points. Oh, and it looks like we've got an elephant. No, we've got a hussar switch from Rayzor to get some raids in here to keep just killing green, I guess. We've got a lot of eco upgrades coming in for purple, but his villages are still in the middle of the map. I would just love him to take 20 of them down here and just start eating up these shorefish to keep his eco going. Arbs versus hand cannons is the fight that we're going to see soon. There's a lot of Arbs. There's a decent number of hand cannons, but there's not a lot of bombard cannons for Zack Attack right now, whereas Rayzor has quite a few of them. So he should be in a decent position for that engagement, I think. Down the bottom, we do see the Helbs now. I feel like Nagus has almost wasted his gold opportunity. We see markets being built. Do we see anybody actually building trade yet? No, not quite. And the fact that there's this castle and these stables down the bottom is going to prevent any trade for Kiwi's team along this side of the map. So they're going to have to short trade to, you know, somewhere here in the middle, which is definitely not ideal considering the map is... It's not a very big map, because you lose a little bit of a distance on either side to begin with the woodlines, right? And then also, you know, if you consider just, like, the proportions of the map, Rayzor's team has something like that, which is, like, almost 3/4 of the map, you would say. So they have significantly more access to gold and stone than Kiwi's team has. Which is going to help them either delay trade or help them, you know, afford to set up trade whenever they want to do that. Right, you see, like, right here, like, they're losing access to a couple of golds, which is just really, really, really important. Especially for expensive gold units when you're making things like hand cannons and heavy camels. You need that gold income to be able to stay alive. And I think we're going to see some big bomber cannon shots. Yeah, there we are. That's a lot of splash damage on the bottom of those hand cannons right there. Oh, and purple is finally expanding to safer grounds. But like, there's just so much gold and stone still down this bottom side of the map. The Rayzor team can just freely expand to. Okay, they've recognized and they've denied this castle. That is huge. That is so important. But they really need to get some siege down here, right? They need some trebs, they need bomber cannons, siege rams, they need anything really to kill these castles and try to take back this bottom corner. The top side, they're still just sort of in a stalemate position. Got a one-bill castle going up there from Zack Attack. A little bit greedy, you would say. Oh, and we're starting to see walls coming up from Rayzor's team. They've figured out, hey, look, these walls are annoying. They're stopping us from really getting anything going. Maybe we should do that ourselves. That's a great idea. Ooh, we see some eagles coming in, which are going to be, I guess, hard diving. Yeah, the hard diving the bomber cannons. They're not going to actually kill very many. Even, like, this many arbs? I guess they do one-shot eagles. Right? They do 1 damage each, and you've got approximately 60. So, that's 60 damage. Yeah, he needs to have a bigger mass of eagles if he wants to try to dive. Or, and Rayzor's getting the bomber cannon shots in on those hand cannons. Cavarcha switch? No, I assume that's just a misclick when you're trying to make the hand cannons. You just press the wrong hotkey. The bottom side, they're still just slowly bashing away these buildings. There's still not really any sign of heavy siege. It's just a single treb. Trying to get some repairs in that gate. Okay, we've got a big wave of camels coming through the middle of the map. I like this. Just stop here. Like, this is a lot of vills. You know what? Nearly 40 vills you can just kill right here, right now. Yeah, good job. And you're also denying this wall, which is huge, so you can get more raids in the future. I wonder what the next move is. Maybe a big massive siege elephants? Right, you mass up like 10 of them behind your army, wait until you've got them, and then you make a big push. Because currently, like, these arbs are... They've got a lot of kills, right? Considering that there's 62 of them, they've got 100 kills. That is a lot, right? Having some siege elephants to do some tanking, allow you to get on top of them with some better units like the Eagles or Hussars or something along those lines. But it does look like this combined army is going to push back here, because there's nobody really helping Gray. He's fighting here by himself. Nagus is streaming in Eagles, but it looks like most of them are just walking in here and dying because their gather point is not set to the correct spot. You turn off alerts in the bottom left. That one? Thinking it's making things run slowly. Okay, let's turn off more things then. Let's turn off the market, we don't need that anymore. Okay, done. I am Procaster, I know what I'm doing. I'm still running at 1.7 times, so it seems that I'm not having too many issues. Oh, but Kiwi is getting huge raids in down the bottom. He has left Gray to defend by himself, but at the same time, he's dealing quite a lot of damage to Orange's eco. Orange is, I say down, he's down to 120 vills, which is, you know, still a lot of vills. I love the Hindu plus 2 range hand cannon. Oh yeah, it's definitely a massive upgrade. It makes them actually playable against Archer Civs. And like even against Skirms, which is normally a counter, having 2 extra range on them means you can just, you know, keep sniping back. Not 2 extra range, 1 extra range, sorry. This corner though, I'm impressed that they still haven't cleaned out this corner. Purple is actually starting to enter the game. He's starting to make a couple of helps. Not huge amounts, considering how little eco he has. But he has started to expand southwards, which is important to keep rebooming. Oops, some arms across the top, killing some more vills. Trade-wise, no one on Raid's team has made any trade. For Kiwi's team, Gray has 13 trade in queue, and a couple on the field already, and that's it. They're not going to have very much space to build Caravanserai, is a slight concern, I would say. Because you're just going to have that slight little inefficiency in your eco. It looks like Green's also making helps, but he's got a castle to make some trebs to clean out these castles finally. And then they're going to get huge access to gold if they take back the space, right? So how much gold on the screen alone? 12,000 gold, that's huge! Plus this one up here that they've already retaken. But at the same time, Grey is being pushed back really hard. And I don't think that Blue is the best player to help him. Because Eagles and Helbs versus Champions and Arbs, it doesn't seem like a great unit composition. And it looks like Grey has lost basically all of his army right now. He's not really producing anything right now. What's his eco like? Grey. He doesn't have a huge amount of food. Which is because he's probably just spent it all, but they're having a rough time here at the top. I think Kiwi needs to... Oh, yep, there we are. If they could coordinate this attack a little bit better, it might have been a better situation, but he's still going to kill most of these bomber cannons, I would think. I'm going to get some patrol forwards. I say kill most, but I think they only killed two bomber cannons, which is definitely not ideal. Not enough. Like, he lost a huge amount of army there just running around these arbs. I didn't expect them to be that effective. I guess not having Paladin is quite painful. That extra pierce armor is quite important. Do Caravanserai even work this patch? As far as I am aware, they should work, just as you would expect, making the trade move faster. Oh boy, and we're even seeing Orange getting into BBT right now. I feel like if you're going to add BBT, you need to start trading. Because you're not going to be able to afford this forever. Okay, but they are doing their best to secure the bottom line. Okay, and here we see more stone walls coming up. Yellow does still have a couple of stables if he wanted to be annoying. I'm just waiting to see a market somewhere down here. Okay, there we are. There is a market for Mr. Kiwi. And we're seeing the trade carts start to roll. But Green, come on, look, you've got all these helbs and you're doing nothing with them. I guess you're defending the trebs, which is, it's not nothing. Oh! Oh no. How did they get in? Oh, they just killed a house. That is frustrating. Because that is trade market as well. So if he's not careful, all of his trade is just going to walk into those arbs and die. Marley and gold bonus being heavily relied on here. Yep, that is true. Oh my god. But yeah, look at this push. This is so close to getting into the middle of all their eco. I like that castle position, just to help defend this top side. Definitely important. Okay. Those arbs are going to die. They killed a couple of trade units, but this push here is quite insane. I didn't expect the Burmese army comp of Champs and Hussar to be this useful, if I'm being, completely honest. Oh, and now we've got Green fighting a 1v2. And even just a small number of Chugonus behind the Helbs should absolutely shred these fights. They do appear to be almost fully upgraded. They're just missing rocketry. So they're going to be very, very effective against, most units that they come up against. Yeah, it's the army difference right here. Look, we've got 300 army almost versus just barely 100. And they've got a little bit of an eco lead, and they've got a little bit of a trade lead, but it's just nowhere near enough right now. GG, it definitely looks like it's going to be called shortly. I mean, like, relatively, they are still healthy population-wise. Ish, right? Like, most of them still have at least 150 pop. Thereabouts. So, like, they're not completely dead just yet, but they need to somehow mass up enough for a big engagement. Right? They just need to clean all of these arbs. And he's got 100 arbs in the field. This is insane. I guess this is a little bit of a risk when, your Paladin player is the one that died. Because Paladin are really the single best unit that you can use. Oh, these villages are so stuck. The single best unit that you can use to fight off arbs and champions and hussars like this. And I feel like Grey just does not have enough trade yet. Like, he's spending a lot of gold making trade carts. Not a lot of gold is going into hand cannons. So he's got a very, very tiny army. And there's just so many arbs rolling forwards here. Oh, and these bomber towers through the middle of the map are just denying resources, securing map control. Like, there's still golds and stones to be mined here. Which these bomber towers are doing a brilliant job at securing. And what is Nagus making? Absolutely not much at all. He's got 150 villagers, but not really making any units at this stage. He's got a lot of food, not a lot of wood, so we can't even really full switch into Helbs. Because he just doesn't have the wood eco for it. Oh, and we do see the GG coming in. I feel like that might be a game that has gotten away from them. If I'm being completely honest. I feel like they were in a pretty decent position in Imperial Age, right? They had 3 players in Imp, but then they didn't really do anything. I think they needed to use their Imperial Age power spike to just get into Eco and raid. The Eagles and the Cavalier just needed to spread out, kill farmers, kill lumberjacks, like all this space through the back. It's essentially undefended, right? There's a single castle and a handful of TCs. You could kill so many villagers back there with your Imperial Age units versus Castle Age. If Kiwi had the Pelasiv, they win, I feel. Maybe. Like, it's obviously not as simple as just a straight swap. I think they would have had a much better chance having Paladin versus the Arbs instead of just Cavalier. But at the same time, if his Persians and the Marlin player has died, they've got less access to gold, right? Like if we take a look at the oops, that's the one at the eco stats. Oh, purple, orange. Look at that gold. I mean, like yeah, like Kiwi has 27,000. If you take off 15%, that's like 24,000 ish. I guess 3,000 less gold's maybe not that impactful, but definitely is going to have a little bit of an impact. Really like the grey walls. I definitely agree. I think these walls were incredibly smart. It's just a little bit not enough, right? There was just too much army from that they were pushing with. There was too many bomber cannons, too many castles that they kept building. Oh, let's go back and take a look at the civs. Let's put up score. Okay, so we had what civs did I get correct? Koreans, no. Burmese, yes. Chinese, yes. Berbers, no. There was Japanese, and they had Khmer. For the other team, Hindustanis was correct. Goths was incorrect. Wait, sorry, they didn't play Goths. Malians was incorrect. Incas was correct, and Persians was incorrect. Ooh, that changes quite a lot of civ usages, in my opinion. Like, what's your other Arabia pocket now? I guess Lithuanians? I guess you have to use Lithuanians on BF now? Which then means, what's your other BF flank civ? They can't be Goths, because they can't Stonewall. I guess you could, like, potentially put Goths behind Celts? That just doesn't seem ideal. Unless you use Burgundians on Arabia. But I really hate Burgundians. 50% selection, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Okay, we'll go over to the other side, because that might be a little bit easier. Huns, Britons. I think Magyars has to go back to Arabia. And then... This is now a BF flank. Got a BF pocket. Oh, they still don't have a Paladin civ, though. Berbers could be a Arabia pocket, though. Okay, so that goes back to BF then. Berbers, Huns. Britons. And Bengalis. And then you have Koreans and Italians, Magyars and Slavs. Yeah, I don't hate that. Teutons, Turks, Celts. Those 3 are a lock. What's the other flank civ? The Burgundians? I really don't like Burgundians in Arabia, though. Yeah, but I feel like they have to use Burgundians in Arabia, but I think it's just not good. And like they also picked Vikings and Burgundians before they picked Huns. I think Huns is far better as a paladin civ than Burgundians. Like the lack of bloodlines means you should just essentially get rolls in late feudal age. Would be my expectation. Hmm. Well, they are getting into the lobby. We've got all the players. They're still figuring out their colors. I guess it's going to be a couple of minutes before they start. Um, I think I'm just going to quickly chuck up an ad so that we don't have any pre-rolls or anything show up during the game and go grab a drink is going to be my plan. Students the top tier on BF. Like, yeah, you can never use students on Pocket Arabia because you don't have husbandry. You should just be completely outmaneuvered at every situation. Like, the eco bonus is obviously great, and the extra armor is insane as well, but you're just never going to be able to have or force a good engagement because you're so slow. Is the big issue. And then obviously they're just an insane BF civ because they've got such a powerful late game army comp and so many options, right? They can obviously do Paladin. The speed is less needed on BF because it's a smaller map. They can do Helbaso. They can do Champs. They can do hand cannons. They can do ETKs if you're against like infantry civs if you need to. They got good bomber cannons. They got good castles. They got BBT. They've got a good eco bonus. Like they're just one of the best late game civs in the game. Period. So a map where you're almost always going to get to late game just suits them. Oh, and I didn't even mention, yeah, I didn't even mention the team bonus of having extra resistance on the monks, which is just absolutely cracks. But yeah, as I said, I'm going to quickly run an ad. I'm going to go grab a drink, and then I will be back for ZBF game. Okay, I am back. They they're still just chilling in the lobby. It seems someone has dropped out of the lobby, so it looks like it'll be a little bit longer until they do start. Um, there was something that I wanted to say, which I was thinking of now, completely forgotten it. Oh yes, I forgot to do predictions again because I'm an absolute dummy. Yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for mentioning it. I need someone to remind me at the start of every game so that I can actually do it because I just completely brain fart on it because I'm not used to doing these things. I'm not up to date with all the streamer thingos. Are there any other thoughts for Civ usage? I mean, the Goth pick for Kiwi is, I think, the big question mark that I have right now. Because you've picked it quite early, and I feel like it shouldn't have been a Civ that you're scared of. Because you have students, and they were also going to pick Celts. So like between the two of them, they should be able to deal with Celts quite easily. Sorry, should be able to deal with Goth infantry spam. So unless they want to use Goths themselves, but if they're going to use Goths themselves, then what are they doing with students of Celts? Because Goths can't replace them as a pocket. Ash Hickman, thank you very much for the sub. Whoa, we're almost at 10 out of 10. Sick, we're making some monies now. Full-time streamer, here we come. Let's go. Yeah, it's like, I guess in theory you could play either of these civs as a flank civ, but then I guess you would be replacing Lithuanians, and then Lithuanians goes to Arabia. It's the odds of Portuguese pocket on Arabia rather than flank and play Viking flank. If you'd said that at the start of the draft, before they used Persians, I would have said 0%. I will say that I'm now up to 5%. I still don't think it's a good idea. I think Portuguese is, it's one of the top 4 flank civs, and it's maybe, if you're lucky, a top 15 pocket. So I could understand, feeling like you need to do something like that to make your draft work. But in that case, I would rather try to get Lithuanians out of BF and then use, Celts as flank and have Goth pocket as an example. Or Tudor flank so that you can do like Hell BBC or Monk Fast Inf or something like that, right? I would be trying to make a change along those lines rather than taking Portuguese away from flank. Rise of the new pocket meta. Sarah Porto pockets, here we go. I mean, in theory, like, the best 2 pocket combination would be Saracens and Hindustanis, right? So your archers and your scouts have extra damage versus buildings, and then you just rip through any palisade walls or any houses or whatnot that people have as part of their base. But yeah, like the Goth not using, or the lack of usage of Goths in my proposed civs, and the fact that you have Burgundians on Arabia is the biggest pain point for me right now. Hun gets Tatar. I mean, that was perfectly fine. It wasn't what we planned. Well, it kind of was, but it got there in the end. And that's also, like, Socotra is very different to Arabia, Pete. I mean, would you ever use Burgundians as a flank on BF? I mean, you could. They're decent as, like, a follow-up to the delayed, right? Like, as soon as you've got eco rolling again, you can get some eco upgrades. You can stay fuel age a little bit longer to make up for it. They're probably not the best if you're worried about being pushed, though. And they're obviously not great if you have a really open map, because, well, I say they're not great. I say they're probably okay, but like they don't have ARBs. So if you're playing like full Arabia style, I feel like they might fall off a little bit. So yeah, just more fun than Expo, what can I say? I mean, I totally agree with you. CA are by far a better unit, and a much more fun unit. The only problem is they're so damn expensive and they need so many bloody upgrades. That is the issue. Civ-wise, for Rayzor, I think I'm probably pretty locked. No prediction. I'll do the prediction when the game actually starts. Because, if I set a 5-minute timer for it, and then the game doesn't start after 5 minutes, it's kind of rough. Because then, you have to go through the whole cancelling it and refunding and whatnot. But yeah, like, in theory, like, as soon as the spec delay starts, is sort of the time when I should do it. Because, like, my options for the timer are, like, 5 minutes or then 10 minutes. So, a 5-minute thing just after like partway through the spectacle is I think good because then you should get the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game. You get to see the civs in the map, but you don't get to see too much stuff that's going on, right? You don't know if somebody has some crazy advantage, which might break it. Back to spectacle. Somebody is missing from the lobby. Somebody from Rayzor's team seems to be the pain point right now. Let me go ask for a ETA on the starting time. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, you want to know the civs, and you want to know at least a vague idea of what the map is. I think to have an accurate prediction. I think just blindly predicting is right. It's just luck almost at that point. Especially if you don't like for game one of a series when you have no idea what sort of civs they're going to use, because sometimes in a draft you will deliberately lose a map and not pick any civs for it, so that you outclass their civs 100% on the next map or the next two maps, right? So like in this case, you could almost say that that's what Kiwi's team have done, right? Like none of their first half, except for I guess like Hindustani's is like their exact middle civ, is basically the only pick, is their highest pick for the first map, right? So they have a huge advantage in theory going into the next two games. Is there an even chance? I don't think it's 25% each, and there's also a chance for 0 pawns, but it should be almost. It should be like always equal number of pawns per team. But if I remember correctly, the most common number is supposed to be 2, and then it gets less for 1 and 3, and then even less for 0 and 4. Because too many pawns or no pawns are like the extremes, right? So it's just less likely on either end. Like a, what's the word? A bell curve distribution. Remembering my high school maths. Okay, apparently the last player should be joining very shortly, which is lovely. Um, you would have to look at the map script to see exactly how they do it, but I think it's just a bunch of if functions, and it tells it how many pawns to spawn, and it knows like it'll say like you know random number X for two pawns, and then it'll do 1 pawn per team, or it'll random 0 pawns, and then obviously there's 0 per team. Hey, Ultra coming, how's it going? I believe that is how it works. 0, 20, 40, 20, 10. Yeah, yeah, something like that was what I thought the percentages were. Thank you very much, Mr. Boo. Um, but obviously, like there is still a reasonable amount of RNG in which players get access to the pawns, right? Because 2 pawns, one each for the pockets, is significantly stronger than 2 pawns, one each for the flanks, right? Because the pocket player is it's so much easier to just sit there and fish boom, right? Whereas the flanks, you have to worry about walls and maybe there's a castle drop or monk siege or man at arm towers or whatever going on. So it's much harder to effectively use the pawns to the same degree when you're flank versus pocket. And then also, oftentimes as flank, you're making units that don't cost a ton of food, right? Like you're making monks or you're making arbs or something along those lines. Whereas the pockets are very, very often doing paladin or help siege, in which case you need a reasonable amount of food for your upgrades and just the span that you need for all the units. Do I miss DM? Not really. Um, I guess is the question: do I miss playing it or do I miss watching it? Watching it. I definitely don't miss watching it. I felt like towards the end of the DM tournaments, they were starting to get quite repetitive. Um, I wouldn't mind playing DM team game tournaments, but there's too many things going on. No, I don't think I've played. I've played like casual games of DM for like training purposes for a while, and like just warming up and whatnot. But I haven't played seriously for 2 years or something. Yeah, and then sometimes the flank lakes, as Satya points out, can be not 100% yours. It can be a little bit contested. Okay, that was actually a long time between ads. It says the next ad is going to be in 20 minutes, which is obviously going to be in the middle of the BF game. So I'm going to do another ad real quick, and then we're going to jump into the BF game. I don't respond much in Discord. Um, if you're talking about the DM server, I don't think I'm in that anymore. If I didn't respond to a DM, just give me a ping. Sometimes I just miss them, or I read them at 3 a.m. as I'm waking up or as I'm going to bed, and then I just forget to come back to it later, which is you know it happens sometimes. I left because I'm not playing DM anymore, right? I wasn't playing, I wasn't watching, so there's a there's only so many discords that you want to be in. But yeah, but 3, yeah, like last night I think I went to bed at about 2, and then I woke up at 6 a.m. to play a tournament game, and then I went back to bed, and then I woke up for Father's Day lunch. So that was a not a lot of sleep. So I'm drinking some Coke and some caffeine to keep me going. Carry a tournament? I mean, playing, carrying, it's all the same, right? Okay, but we will. Oh wait, no, hold on. Before we get going into the game, we will run the prediction. Haha. Who will win? Team Rayzor, Team Kiwi. Submission period. Gonna be a re. What? Bugged pond? That one's accessible? Oh, that one's not accessible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay. Whew. Well, okay. Well, I will not run the prediction then. We'll go back out of the game, and we will wait for the rehost. Well, I guess that's a little bit anticlimactic. I mean, it's Ultra. It's not your fault that I stopped playing DM, right? It's just for me specifically. It was a question of what do I want to prioritize and um, you know, do with my time, and DM was the least important Age of Empires thing that was going on. Um, and it also didn't help that most of the people that I was friends with also weren't being super active as well. By the way, the Civs, they had a Berber flank for Rayzor's team and a Goth flank for Kiwi's team. How much meta change for BF the Fishbone? A lot. Um, being able to use a pond versus not being able to use a pond is an insane skill difference or like game difference. Everything along those lines. Because you can quite easily have you know, 40 vil lead at minute 25 if you've used a pond and your opponent hasn't. And, you know, you can be imp at minute 26 easily starting to tech SO, or like Onager into SO, or Cavalier into Paladin. You can do so much with the eco advantage that's just not possible without the ponds. So, having access to the ponds and being able to use the ponds is just a huge change. As much as I'd like to get back into DM, I'd have to play a ton to get the level back. Yeah, that's also a consideration, right? Like as I said, like the issue for me was the the amount of time required to play and whatnot. Ah, shit. Nah, D, stop responding. Close. 25% more fish now. Oh yeah, yeah. Having the fish being able to stack on top of the traps is absolutely insane. It's a massive buff, and it also contributes to the whole using the fish correctly is such a big buff. Oh boy, Robo. Yeah, I quickly watched through it, but I honestly couldn't be bothered casting it, seeing as we're not actually going to watch the game. So I just had a watch to see what I should expect. I guess I can update the civs though. Lithuanians is gone, so we're not using Burgundians anymore, so I like that. And we have Goths as a flank now. The other side, we have Berbers as a flank. And which civ did they not have? Uh, they had a Byzantine pocket? What? That was something I didn't notice. Which means that Italians is going as a flank. And I guess Bengalis are not being used? Byzantine... And we're not using Magyars either. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2... Byzantine pocket is ludicrous. I don't understand that in the slightest. What are you going to do with Byzantines? Let's just quickly open up Capture Age. And we will start to spectate. Still at 50%. I mean, this civ picking is difficult, man. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Ultra coming. Let's see, okay. Who will win? Question mark. Team Rayzor. Team Kiwi. Boom. Don't stream this again. Go. There we are. We got a prediction. Woohoo! And we're gonna go jump into Capture Age. This is a really good flank civ. Yeah, but they're using it as a pocket. Look. Rayzor. Pocket. Maybe some sort of a fast imp thingy? Am I the problem? Or are these teams the problem when guessing civs? It's definitely the teams that are the problem. Considering Gus is in the other team, it might work out. That's definitely true. We'll just quickly look at the flanks. So this side we've got Goths versus Koreans with the Byzantine pocket, so that definitely helps out. The other side we do have the Turks versus the Berbers. And the Turk player is not going for any walls right here. So it looks like he's just going to maybe FC and try to like castle drop the pond at the top would be a possibility. I don't like that he didn't pick up his sheep. I think that's a little bit risky. What either of these guys at? Yeah, it's essentially 1400s up to 2k4 on each team, where you have a player per team at each sort of bracket, almost. We have 2 vills coming forward to the Goths. So it looks like we're getting some hard lames on one side for each team, and then both teams also have someone who doesn't want to push. In Dark Age, at least. Okay, he did pick up his sheep in the end. Holy balls, that is a wall. Securing the ball and securing the lake is a pretty big deal, because that's 1, 2, 3 lakes. It's actually conceivable that Rayzor's team gets 3 ponds. Right? Like, the logical point is to wall there. Like, this is definitely Red's pond, and this pond over here is supposed to be Gray's. but it's kind of contested. Okay, it looks like either Grey wants to lure some of these boars, which I like, or he wants to contest a wall here. Rayzor has the only usable ponds. Definitely true. He's also got 5 fish in the pond, which is quite nice. I think Blue's pond is kind of fine to use. The problem is that he's Goths and he can't stonewall. And he's also laming, right? Okay, we're committing to a little bit of a Vil fight here. In theory, the Berber player should have a huge... Oh, he doesn't have a loom! What are you doing, bro? Alright, but neither did Grey, okay. How do you still not have loom at minute 4 after doing these aggressive walls? That's insane. Yeah, I think that Blue should be able to get to this later. The issue is just getting to later. Oh. Yeah, having a rough time. He's going to lose both of his villas, it looks like, that he sent forwards. Nope, he's going to lose one of them. Don't attack the wolf, attack the scout. Get damage on the scout so that, you know, the villager has to deal with it later. But I would say at this stage, the advantage is for Rayzor's team ever so slightly on this side, just because they get the pond. Like, losing a boar, you know, it hurts a little bit, but you've got 3 more back here to replace it. So, like, that's fine. Oh boy, and that getting a wall like that and down here as well gives you such a good pushing position as well. Like a Byzantine semi-fast imp with the fish boom into whatever they want to make, really. Like Cavaliers or Hellpound Cannon or even just like Arb Ram timing, anything along those lines. Trying to push somewhere through the middle would be big. I'm not sure if I enjoy this wall that green has. If I'm being completely honest. I understand that he doesn't want to commit all the villager time to wall forwards, but I feel like you kind of need to because this is a very vulnerable position to have your wall in. Okay, he's going for a triple boar lure, and he's already taken some damage from a wolf, it seems. These walls are about to finish. The Vil fighting continues over here. Let's go look at the KD. We're going to go back. Orange is also Vil. And then blue is also Vil. Okie dokie. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Oh, and red's stealing sheep. Okay. I thought that might have been a sneak Vil, and I was like ready to go completely poggers. Oh, walling in the wolf. What a god gamer. But then he turns around and punches it. If you're going to wall the wolf in, you need to leave. And leave it there. That's... An attempt was made. Oh, this village is having a rough time. It's going to get walled in, it seems. Oh, and we've got a pause. Did I turn off chat messages? No, I did not. I want to put all of these back on, I think, for the time being. No, we don't want that one, though. We want to see where the attacks are going on and whatnot in the early game. Oh! That's a barracks. Why is Negus building a barracks forwards? I guess he wants to do some, like, militia or something? That's sus. I don't know if I like that. If we're going to go back to, like, talking about the pond situation, I wouldn't hate it if green came over here and used this pond, right? Because blue's, like, so far behind in terms of being able to use the pond himself. Green could have already built a dock, right? And have started making fish. And so at least in that situation, the pond is being used at a time which is useful. No, Zach lost this villager here to the wolf. It was being attacked by 2 scouts and the wolf, but the wolf was the one that got the last hit in. Green is the closest to losing a villager to a boar. This one's on 4 HP. I don't know how far away this boar is from its attack. Attack animation. Game is paused, okay. Yeah, like... I don't like this wall either from purple, right? Like, purple has the opposite issue to green's wall, which was green should be walling this way so that they have somewhere to run back to, if they get attacked. And because green's wall is back here, purple should be walling against it so that they gain as much ground as possible.
Yes.
The phone died. Okay, they're having some comms issues it seems, but they are back on it. Did green lose that Vil? Nope, he is still alive. Very nice. We see here, teal's trying to lose some balls as well. Definitely not ideal. It's taking a lot of hits already. Oh, and Nagus is up. Oh no. Oh no. Go, Orange, go. Get him. Or her. Get her. Get her. Oh, Nagus Titanic. Oh, wall. Oh, next wall. Oh, huge. Well, that wall piece isn't actually tapped, is it? I can't click on it. Oh, it has been tapped. It's on 3 HP. Like, one of those villagers needs to go attack that wall piece. Okay, the barracks is up. What's he gonna do in Feudal Age, though? I guess he's gonna make some man-at-arms and then make a range. Oh, Neville's out. Should green make 2 walls then? Yes. I think that, even though it's not ideal, I think trying to wall down here, next to this gold, and then walling over here next to this gold, would have been the better way to do it. Because, like, for instance, I guess neither of the pocket civs are super crazy aggressive civs, but if you had, like, a Spanish pocket that's planning to just boom into Paladin, if you see that there's a wall like this, you could quite easily just switch into a castle drop. Right? You just instantly kill the wall, and then you got conks into everybody's eco. Right? There's a lot of potential for things to go wrong with a very, very safe wall like this. Especially since it's only 1 layer. Like, imagine if Orange, for some reason, made some militia and then wasn't able to do anything. They just walk over here and they can just kill a wall before green could possibly get there to rewall behind it. So, I think if you're going to do a wall like this, you have to commit to 2 layers. And then you should also never be building a house as part of the wall. Because, A, you can fit more villagers attacking it, and B, it costs... It's, like, very, very painful if it gets killed later in the game. Right? Like, maybe there's a siege push or something coming through here at minute 25, and then you lose 2 houses, and then you get housed all of a sudden. You know, it's not the end of the game, but it's just that little annoyance that you have to deal with. Oh, it looks like Negus tried to build a range. Was that killed? How much wood does he have? Potentially, the archery range got bashed down if he didn't hit it enough. That is still a scout. What happened to the 2 sheep that he had, though? I guess somebody found them. I think green's coming to get these boar. Yeah, and like these walls that red's got, it's just absolutely amazing. Like they've got such a great position to push from at this stage.
Yes.
Such forward walls. Oh, and we're going back again. And then yeah, I think that in hindsight, green should have aggressively come to take this pond. Well, I say aggressively, but you know, come here and use the pond. Maybe not a full fish boom, but just make like 5 or 6 fish, gather the shore fish, and then make fish traps, and then just sit with that. Music volume could maybe be turned down slightly. No worries, I can do that. Let me know if that's any better. No, I think it's just going off completely. Oh no, that's because of between songs. Never mind. Green's gone off with a stable and a blacksmith. So there is potential for a siege workshop and a couple of knights to try to push these walls back, which I don't hate. Teal is just market blacksmith, going for boom as Celts, which does make a lot of sense. And it seems that Negus's forward shenanigans have been denied now in the end. He is still building an archery range, and he's committing to Vills and Tower, and I don't like this in the slightest. I think that you're wasting Turks to play like this. If you want to play this sort of aggressive style, you should be Goths. Because Turks are a good flank civ because of Jans and fast hit bomber cannons. Not because of silly man-at-arm plays and Vil bashing and towers. Oh, we do see a 4 racks though from Kiwi, so we're possibly going to see a siege workshop from him. Which makes it even less relevant, right? If he's going to drop siege anyway, then you're not going to do anything with these villages. and you would have been better off going up to Castle Age and supporting with gens in a castle. I do not like the player at all. Is BF Rayzor more popular these days? Or is Arrow dropping down? I don't think that BF is any more or less popular than it used to be. I think it's just more visible. Right? I think that... Well, okay, I should change that slightly. The map scripting and just the general way that you play BF is more aggressive now, which makes it more attractive at high levels. So, you know, back in the day, BF was slightly less popular at high levels because you would just safely wall NFC and boom and do nothing for 30 minutes, right? But nowadays, it's very, very rare to see a high-level BF team game without some sort of huge Vil fight or sneaks or, you know, siege pushes or whatever is going on, right? So because it's more aggressive, you see it more often in high-level games, like, you know, the Viper streams and Jordan and Tato and Doubt and whatnot. And because it's more visible, it feels like it's more popular, but I don't think it's really that much more popular than it used to be. It's just, you see it more often, so you think it's more popular. Rayzor's only got one dock. He is making more fish, though, so I don't mind that. I do not like building a TC on gold, though, if you're fish booming. I really don't like that, because you want all your vills on wood, so that you can make more docks and make more fish. Like, buying gold is, like, fine, up to a certain point, but eventually it's just going to become less and less efficient. Or BF has always been popular. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, that's why I'm saying that I don't think it's really gotten more popular. It's just, you see it more often now. And obviously the Rage Forest tournaments help out. Because it's very, very rare in the past to see too much in the way of BF tournaments. Oh, so he's gone up with a stable, I guess it's just a safety thing in case there's some weird shenanigans going on. Which may very well happen with this big group of archers. The problem with this strategy is if you're not being aggressive yourself, you need to come stonewall for your goth player. And this is just completely open, by the way. Because the goth player can't do his own walls. So, you need to support him with your own walls so that he doesn't get, you know, destroyed by siege or something, right? Okay, the push is rolling along. Kiwi, though, compared to purple, he's actually not that far behind in builds. Blue is going to overchop. Yeah, that's true. He is going to overchop soon anyway. I doubt that red would notice that. And I doubt that he would care, since there's just a single layer of palisade walls that he has to kill. Which, with a decent number of crossbows, isn't going to take very long at all. Orange is close to clicking Castle Age. Just needs that second building. But I think it might be a little bit too late, honestly. Purple needs to build a siege rush up ASAP. They do have a blacksmith, so they can do that. But they can't really make any other army. Oh, why is purple build a dock? I don't like that at all. All that you're going to do is you're either wasting wood or you're stealing fish away from orange. It's like, one or the other should have taken the pond, and nobody else. Oh, but those two vills. Oof. This is a nice push from Kiwi here. The question really becomes, can they deal enough damage before purple gets online? Right, because Kiwi is slowing himself down a little bit. Right, like now he's falling behind the vills because it's soon 4 TCs versus soon 3 TCs. So is killing orange enough of a trade-off? And is purple able to carry, you know, behind this? Oh, the archers aren't here to defend the mangonels, but there's 2 knights, which is I think probably enough. I would have liked to see an attack round on the vills. And a forward vill to repair would also be pretty useful. But okay, here we go. I guess he can just drop a Siege Workshop real fast. Drop Siege. Oh, that's not going to go up. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Zach. Oh, no. And he can just walk right past you. Oh, this is Titanic. He's going to lose. This is never going to go up. Never in 1,000 worlds is this ever going to go up. Oh. That is That is honestly a little bit of a Titanic. Like, as I'm saying, like, if you're not doing the walls... I hate it. Orange made it to Castle Age before he lost his TC, which is good. There's nothing worse than dying in Feudal Age. Oh, Bills? Nope. Okay, we've got mass exodus going on right now. The Ram just bashing away. Ooh, Nagus is coming forward with Bills. I guess he's going to build a castle. He's almost got the stone for it, that's true. Yep, kill the Siege Workshop first. I like that, so that the Mangonel can't pop out. And then I guess Nagus castles near this hill, and then they push hard. Come on, get some of the Vills to get the repairs on. Come on, Nagus, you can do it. How is Red doing? Oh, my castle tonight again. Blue is 0-10 KD right now. I heard a monk somewhere. Oh. Okay, that's because we have a semi-fast imp from Rayzor here. It looks like this is why you don't pick off flanks. 100%. 100% why you don't do it. I guess he's just going to go for bombard cannons and monks to support the crossbows and just start deleting things. Green is transitioning into Castle Age Knights, but then the monks from Byzantines are going to be a big help with that. As I was saying earlier though, Rayzor hasn't really used the pond to begin with, and the pond itself isn't really conducive to this sort of a gameplay, because none of his army costs food. Push-wise, the castle is going up in a very solid position. I think Kiwi needs to roll forwards faster with... Oh! Kiwi! Kiwi! No! Oh, you just killed your own mangonels, man. Yeah, he needs to start bashing away at these buildings ASAP, so they can continue the push, because they've invested quite heavily. Oh, but the fast imp from Nagus. I don't mind this. I guess he's going to build a siege workshop at some point for bomber cannons before he hits imp. Oh, blue. 30 vills dead. The castle has gone up eventually, though. Looks like another 2-1, says Bot Marley. I don't know if that's guaranteed, to be honest. I mean, they're definitely in a good position on this side, but I think that the other team is on a good position on this side as well. Or they, I think he was maybe thinking that there might be a dock on the pond running around, but he's going to get cleaned up by these knights now. I guess the question is the monk play from Rayzor going to pay off, considering that they do have Chudens? That is the issue. I think that 2 siege workshops, honestly, was overkill. I would have maybe preferred a 3rd monastery and more monks and less siege. Especially if you're going to build a castle really quickly. With my logic being... rotate my position, new pocket flanks here now. Yeah. Orange just needs to come up here and reboom and become the flank for red. That's the play. Oh, I like the houses and the wall. Yep, that was good. The house is going to die, though. And there's no conversions, and I think he misclicked the monks, because they stopped converting as well. Is he going to win this fight? Okay, he's walled in the vills, so the castle's definitely going to go up regardless of what happens here. He should win. Like, these monks at the back, even if they're just healing, is still pretty valuable. It's like, the Byzantine healing bonus is pretty useful at, you know, just keeping the crossbows healthy at fighting all these knights. Trying to do some more walls to protect some more vills and more monks. Okay, what's up with this? Nagus is now an imp. He's got a bomber cannon. No treb on the way, though. I think a treb should have been the first priority, and then you try to cut the trees to get in fast. Kiwi's up to imp, though, as well. He's up faster than purple, but he does have, you know, 20 to 30 less vills. Geary needs to hold 2v1 against 2 high picks, which sounds like a tough task. Certainly true. I think that Kiwi should be swinging to the top side, I think, to try to defend that. The issue is Celts versus bombard cannons and monks is kind of not what they're best at, right? I guess he would need a full swing into woads would be the best unit choice, I would think. Because then you got fast units that can run in and try to snipe the monks, try to snipe the siege. But in that case, that's sort of what Green is doing already. I guess the bomber cannon's going to go through the wall pretty quickly here. Oh, but Rayzor's sending defensive monks on this side. I like that. Try to convert the bomber cannons. That is a good call. Is anybody else close to imping? Orange, obviously not. Red, not really. Green's on the way up to imp, and blue's never going imp as well. The monk play is a bit dubious. Yes. Exactly. I fully agree. But I think, honestly, like, just having 5 or 6 Byzantine monks just healing is probably enough, in my opinion. Because, like, they heal so much faster as Byzantines, right? It's like 4 times faster, I believe. Which is, you know, pretty insane. Let me turn down the music again a little bit. But, yeah, he needs to have some sort of other unit. Okay, we see Knights and Helms diving into Purple's eco. And I don't know if Purple's going to be able to defend this. Because he's going for Helms of his own. But all that Nagus needs to do is just add in, you know, 10 Jannies or something. And then the Helms are just going to absolutely roll. From, oh, that trap just instantly gets blown up. And, like, there's so many villagers not working right now. I would assume that, yeah, Giri just has no food income to make anything really to defend at this point. They do have a score lead, but I think it's a fake score lead. I think that Kiwi's, yeah, and now it instantly swings. Green's got Cavalier on the way. There are Byzantine helms up here now, so this is going to be a very scary push. But Kiwi should be able to quite easily just send, you know, a couple of barracks to start making helms of his own. There's just an extra meat shield on the top side. He's also tried to dive with the knights a little bit into Rayzor's eco. I like the castle to defend a little bit. But, oh, Giri is just taking a big sausage right here. We've got a lot of monks fighting back and forth. A lot of helms, I should say. He's trying to get conversions. He's microing the monks like a micro man. Is he going to get one? He does get one. Does he get a second one? He does not. And yeah, and there's just not enough eco right here for Giri to actually keep up army production that he needs. Blue died slower, and killing Burb is more valuable than killing Goth. I think that's questionable. I think what happened is that you killed the best player, or the second best player on Rayzor's team in Hot Soup, versus killing Zakatak, who's, I believe, the weakest player on Rayzor's team. Let me just quickly check that. Kiwi's team. Oh, the middle player, sorry. Not quite the lowest, but you essentially traded your second best player for their third best player. Which is, you know, not the best situation. Somebody just hit him. That was Red. Red's gonna have Arbs soon. Arbs plus Byzantine helps versus Shootin' Paladin. Obviously, they should be winning this, but as I keep saying, I think that Kiwi should be able to send anything over here to help out at any time. And I think they should be fine. Nagus is starting to add a little bit of eco, but it's not a huge amount. Hey, Toom, how's it going? Efficient push from Kiwi. Most siege loss was due to his own doing. Yeah, that's true. Still cleaning up all the houses. Oh. I mean, I guess that's a decent fight. You've got so many Paladin. I probably would have tried to wait for +4 attack, if I'm being honest. And he probably just needs to send like 2 or 3 of these Paladin and click on the Trebs. Because I think you want to defend this castle if possible and keep it up. Because like you're never going to fully kill their army, right? They're going to keep microing and eventually there's going to be more helps here. Oh, the castle survives on like 100 HP. Yes, that's huge. Now you just slowly repair it back to full. Keep patrolling in. Maybe not. Maybe now's the time to pull back. You've saved your Treb, or your castle, sorry. You back up. Stop wasting your numbers. Uh-oh. What's coming in? Fura Celtica. I like it. I think Kiwi... Come on, Kiwi. You need to go help out Green at this point. Okay, yep. His son said helps. I like this. Are you playing this 22? I am. I have my team. Team Robo. We won our first round match. This is the second last match of the first round, and then we'll be playing more matches again this coming week. Exclamation mark AusDraft if you want to check out the Wikipedia page, see the team, see the results, you know, see all the details for tournaments as we do. That's what Wikipedia is for, right? Nagus is starting to get a CA switch going. A little bit of a fishbone there, I don't mind it. Orange is switching into Genitors? Potentially? Ooh, Cataphracts. It's a decent idea. They're getting a lot of gold and stone control here, but in theory, like, all of this stone and gold is accessible as well. And soon they're going to have all the purple space. So at this point, we've got 2 dead players versus only the single dead player. Good night, combat. Have a good one. Just build some houses. I think, honestly, at this point, you might want Nagus to swing for the top instead of Kiwi. Like, if he's able to get enough CA here, they will help kill off the Helbs. They'll be able to run out and try to snipe Bomber Cannon sometimes, and they're going to be decent against Arbs once they get all their PS armor upgrades. The Ram edition, yeah, the Rams just make the pushing so much faster. Right, like the whole issue with Trebs is you have to pack them and unpack them, but you get the benefit of range. And especially against mass walls like this, Bomber Cannon is definitely the best way to do it. The problem is going to be walking into the Cataphracts, though. So you need the CA to fight the Cataphracts, but you also need the CA down this side to fight the Helbs and the Arbs. So it's a little bit of a... Okay, we're just seeing skirms instead of Genitors. I think Genitors honestly would be better. If you've got the eco for it, of course, just because they've got more stats, and they've got more mobility to run around and do things. Yeah, keep them more gun safe. I wonder if turning around and killing Orange is the smartest thing, or keep going to Rayzor. I think killing Rayzor is probably the smarter thing. Orange is like a little bit of a nuisance. You know, just somebody come forwards and build a castle here, and then you're chilling. Would be the way that I see that. They just need to stop attacking Lava Camp and protect the Rams. I think that's what they should be going for. Big fight coming up here on the top. There's not a lot of helps here. No Cataphracts either. So as long as enough of the Paladins survive, they should be able to deal pretty good damage against these Arbs. There's more Paladin coming in, more reinforcements. The Monk healing though, look, just listen to them go. Is there crenellations for the shooting player? Yes there is. So there's no Bomber Cannon push on this side. Alright, it looks like in the end the ARB numbers are a little bit too much for Green to fight off, but I say that and the push is continuing on this top side. Heading towards Rayzor's base. And Orange like has a little bit of an issue where he might get cut off from the rest of his team pretty soon. Right, and he's forced to like group his army around the big loop across the top there. This frankly seems like stages of a campaign as each team rotates around the map. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like that. Killing the fishing ships would be pretty nice as well. Do we have... We don't have +2 range yet, though. That would definitely be useful. That is a lot of Cataphracts, though. Yep, that is a good idea. Turn around, bail out. You need to get back, get more numbers. I'm not really sure what Kiwi's got going on right now. Okay, he's got Helbs up here. He doesn't have very much in the way of siege, which is a little bit concerning. Where are the Rams, man? Or the Oranges, or anything along those lines? Now, how hard are these Cataphracts going to kill the Helbs? There's 30-odd Helbs just instantly melted. And he doesn't even have Logistica. You know, I was making fun of the Byzantine pick to begin with, but the Cataphracts seem like they're doing a decent job. And Red, this seems to have been a staple in both of these games, where Vamir just gets a huge mass of Arbs and just sits with them. Oh, but now we have Kiwi with Onages on this side. This is going to be micro fight. As long as the Bomber Cannon doesn't snipe too many of the Onages. Shoot! Shoot! Bomber Cannon, shoot! Flatten, please! Please, I want to see big shots. Oh, that's sad. And while this is going on, they are actually getting pushed back from top Kiwi's old base. Allows them to get in here again, reclaim some of the golds in the stone. Orange has been quite useful with the helps. The skirms and the genitals. He's close to going imp. Blue is almost an imp himself, though. I guess Huskarls on the top side would be the ultimate unit choice. I guess he probably has no access to gold, though, because he has no base. So he's probably just going to be making a meat shield of Helbs, I guess. Which seems a bit of a waste, seeing as Green is currently teching into Helbs himself. They're essentially doubling up on the resources by both teching the exact same units at the same time. That would be fun if Red and Orange end up meeting in Green's base. If Orange pushes this way, yeah, that could be pretty useful. The problem is that Orange can't really afford Siege, would be my assumption. So he can't actually really do anything through Green's base. Helbs kill Arbs, just need enough of them. Exactly. I mean, Helbs kill everything if you have enough Helbs. Oh, Onager shots on the skirms are going to be big. Flattened. Oh. These two Onagers, oh, they've only got 20 kills. That's not a lot. They did a lot of damage, though. A lot of splash. Killing this pond would be kind of useful, I think. Denying that fishing eco from Orange. Where did all the cataphracts go? Oh, here they are. They are swinging north. Okay, yeah, they see the Goth Helbs are coming in. And they're like, nope, let's get up there to help out. I think the biggest issue at this point is that there's not a lot of trade production going on for anyone. Like, we saw that Nagus is starting to build markets down the bottom. And I guess Kiwi is probably going to build a market up here as well. But, like, this trade route is not ideal. Like, there's a ton of buildings and whatnot in the way. And Kiwi, all Helbs and Cataphrax. Yeah. Okay, Helbs kill everything except for Cataphracts. We'll put the one unit that they are completely unable to kill is Cataphracts. Let's see him go again. Nope. Aww. Take the fight. Do it, Rayzor. Do it. I just want to see the kill count just like skyrocket when they start getting splash damage. Like half the Cataphracts are dead already, and the kills, like, look at them go. We've got a 70 build lead, but armies are pretty equal. The issue, though, is Green's got no gold, so we can't make the good shooting units. And shooting scouts is just, ugh, that is sus. Ooh, that castle, was that denied or was that deleted? That was destroyed by something. I think it might have been killed by the bomber cannons, to be honest. CA versus Skirms, definitely not ideal. How's this going? Still poking around here with some Helbs, but there are Trebs coming in now. And the Genital is just going to be really annoying against the Cav Archers, as I said, but now we do have SO coming out from the Kiwi. I honestly wouldn't mind onagering down some of these trees to make it a little bit easier to get around. On the top side, though, Vamir is just very, very slow at pushing. Is the real issue at this point, I feel like. Yeah, because the game's messy, there's just... Oh, onager shots coming in. Kiwi, click. Shoot, 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 shoot. Oh! Big... Oh, and another one. Oh, and another one. Oh, my God. He just went from 200 pop to 140. Oh, boy. Yep, okay, I think the Helbs are in a brilliant position to push this back now. Good job, Kiwi. You had one bloody job, and you did it. Let's turn off the selling things now, because that's going to get insane when everyone's selling for 14 gold. I do not like this constantly fighting with CA against Genitals, and they're not even fully upgraded yet. You need heavy CA, and you need pathing tactics. Oh no, you need the last armor upgrade, sorry. Yeah, like, this push is stalled out completely at this point. And I think Red... Well, Red shouldn't have... Oh, yeah, because Red's hogging all the gold. So Red's going to have issues replacing that army, it seems. Because there's no gold really to mine up. Look at this trade lane. Look at this trade lane. That's so bad. Oh, there's so many buildings in the way. Yeah. Any signs of trade? There's what? 8 in queue, 11 on the field, 21. Kiwi's got a decent number of trade. Orange has a decent number of trade as well. The issue for both teams is how messy the trade lines are. Right, like, even just these palisade walls are a huge blockage. These stone walls are really bad. All of these houses are really bad. The market is honestly a little bit annoying. Okay, but now we have shooting SO on this side, so we're going to see more big butter booms on the arms. We do see more genitals coming out, though. I know that there is somebody out there who is a huge fan of genitals, so this is the game for you, it seems, where you have two different players. Oh, there's a Cannongellion! Oh, boy. I love it. I love it so much. Although the CA could just walk over there and shoot it, I love the idea. Cute house block by blue in the northeast. I mean, this bit. I mean, it's good use of, you know, otherwise useless space. I definitely agree with that. Okay, now that they've pushed them back, they need some siege to take down this castle. Oh, shoot, 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 shoot. Oh. The micro on these bomber cannons has been pretty on point, if I'm being honest. Between both Red and Rayzor, they've both been doing a really good job of it. Yeah, we're seeing some Rhymes getting in there, getting some Trebs as well. Kiwi is switching into two hands. I love it. Going to do a really good job against the mass trash on this side. It's not going to be great against the Cataphracts, though. But it does look like Rayzor is... He's got quite a lot of gold, actually, left. Well, I say a lot. He's got 1,700 gold. That's enough for, like, a decent couple rounds of trade. But, like... Messy trade lines. Like, killing these Palisades would be big as well to make the trade line a little bit better. The Hussars and Genitors versus Champs, Helbs, and Heavy CA is not ideal. Well, the purple is now getting back into it. He's making his own Helbs, which is definitely useful. But the CA should just absolutely melt through most of this army right here. On this side, they're still going back and forth, back and forth. We are starting to see Huskars now. They are elite Huskars as well, so it's going to do a really good job against the Arbs. Not great against the Cataphracts, though. What do we need to fight the Cataphracts? We need green to get back into Paladin. But he also wants to keep making SO. It's tricky. There's a lot of good units that the students want to be making. And unfortunately, he can't be making all of them. Oh, purple's now got SO. We're potentially going to see big hits on the CA if they're not paying attention. And we also don't have Spahi. Okay, no, Spahi's coming in right now. Running back to the castle, it seems. Leaving the Treb to die, which is fair enough. Orange is making hand cannons. I guess it makes sense when you're worried about this many infantry units. And where is Kiwi's army? Kiwi has not a lot of units right here. I've got no idea where his army is right here. There's a bunch of them down here. Oh, okay, they're starting to kill this wall. I like it. I like it. The Cannongellion did die, unfortunately. Tonic SO, that's the one. Honestly, some shooting bomber cannons would be decent. Green does not have a castle. It's entirely possible that Green also doesn't have conscription at this point. Which is quite significant at this stage of the game. Oh, there's some SO shots trying to hit the CA, but they're mostly just hiding in the castle. Right-click on the Onager with the castle is what you should be doing. Right-click the Onager. Oh, wait, that's that's his teammate's Onager. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm like, why aren't you killing the Onager? It's right next to the castle. It's not his Onager. It's fine. It's fine. I take it all back. What about ETKs? I think ETKs would not be good when you have mass... Well, I shouldn't say mass, but you have Cataphracts and a bunch of Arbs on the field. I thought Green was researching SO. What happened to that? Maybe he cancelled it? I'm not sure if I like all of these Scorpions from Green, or from Red, to be honest. Koreans, I don't know if they get heavy Scorpions, if I'm being honest. I can understand it because there's so much infantry, but Koreans can make hand cannons. You don't need to make Scorpions. I think they're just very expensive, very flimsy units. Push down on this side. We need I keep on saying they need to clean the trade line a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. Delete these walls, maybe. That would be the first step, I think. Delete those walls, kill some more of these walls. Delete the barracks, kill the palisade walls up here. Oh boy. He's gonna pretend that he has, Mangadai, but he does not have Mangadai, he just has Heavy CA. Red switching into Genital is gonna hurt their side, but I guess no gold. Yeah, I think that's just the issue, is that there's a huge gold shortage. But to be fair, they've got a decent amount of trade. What's that? 40, 80, 100, 110, 150, 160 almost trade versus 50, 75, 105, 140. So they've got a 20 trade lead for Rayzor's team right now, which is not insignificant. Their trade line is, I think, quite a bit worse in terms of bumping. So it's a little... Ooh, how did that get in there? I was wondering if there was a sneaky villager somewhere building barracks. Ah, there is. How did you get here, buddy? I love it. I love it. Oh, Anja shots. Oh, I want to see the Anja flatten all the scorpions, man. Those genitals think they have Mangadai now. Yeah, they're doing their best. Kiwi, man, where's your SOs? You've got so much gold. Where are the SOs? Oh, he just spent it all on 5 SO. Okay, nice. I just hope that you can make them do something. Like, this here is a huge pain point for Kiwi's team. If you lose this position, you lose your trade. This game is quite potentially over. And they can't even reroute the trade easily. I guess they can lock this gate and then try to force it to go around this bottom side, but I don't think that's a very feasible opportunity. Yeah, I think the Genital is just the same reason why you would make skirms, is because it's better to have some army than nothing because you got no gold. And the Genital is just better than a skirm because it's got more HP. And like the mobility is also not useless. The biggest issue for this side has simply been that there's been absolutely zero siege. Because Green hasn't made a castle, so he can't make trebs. And for some reason, he hasn't really made many bomber cannons whatsoever. So this castle has just been a huge pain in their ass right now. We are seeing... Oh, this palisade wall is so annoying. I think we're going to turn off the attack notifications as well, to be honest, at this point. We don't need tributes. Oh, there we are. Just get rid of that. They are defending the trade for the time being. They're holding, is what I would say. But on the top side, they are pushing, which is great. Oh, and the sneaky fucking barracks. This is brilliant, Zach. You're doing a brilliant job. Killing Red's eco, harassing these traders. Like, ideally, he just needs to leg it and get down here. Get into the bottom of the eco for the rest of the players. Just killing Red's farming eco doesn't really matter when they're basically only making arbs and units like that. Perfect ad timing. Oh, that's unfortunate. My bad. We're seeing some decent SO shots, but now that there's 100 HP on the heavy CA, they can tank a decent amount of damage from lone siege units. You really need a big group of SOs firing in like a bit of a spread to take them out effectively. But oh boy, now they're starting to hit the trade on this side. They're going to take 2 more castles, maybe 3 castles, and then they're into the trade. The biggest issue is there's no ranged units. And ranged units are the best way to kill trade. I guess a castle will do the same thing. And it's also a Truden castle, so it's got that extra range, which is nice. You're SOing down trade carts. It's not what you would normally expect to see. I think, unironically, this game might be won by Zack Attack's raid like this. Which is, it sounds like an incredibly silly thing to say, considering how dead he has been for most of this game. But the sneaky villager that's gotten in here, I don't know where it's gone. I think it might have died. But just the impact. Oh no, he's over here now. The amount of the damage that these Huskarls are doing, the amount of confusion and havoc they're causing to the team. Oh, the markets have been deleted. This is... Oh, all the trade is going to start falling apart now. Blue winning the game with the raid and the trebs he added on the front line. Oh, true, yeah. Blue's got a couple of trebs. Big moves. Big moves indeed. Oh, I love this from Kiwi. Yeah, cutting out this wood line to make the trade go in a little bit of a safer route, if possible. Alright, like, cut a couple more layers of trees, and then hopefully you can lock this gate, maybe? That would help out. And then the trade can get back a little bit from the front line and have a little bit of extra space that they can... Why is that here? Go away. I guess that doesn't go away. Okay. Yeah, I think just the fact that all the traders stopped there means like that. Oh, we've got a cav switch from Burmers. I guess that makes sense to some degree. But Rayzor had to like full swing his army back here to try to clean this up, which means that they've completely lost this front now. And Kiwi's team has essentially won themselves 3 of the corners. Oh, look at this. Red was so kind as to chop out some extra stone for them. Green back on Pella. He's starting to get back on Paladin. He's only got... I say only. He's only got 50 trade. He probably wants to get up to 60, maybe even 70 if he wants to keep making SO and bomber cannons as well. Oh, but now we're starting to see bombard towers from Nagus. Yep, we're going to have another 2-1 it looks like. Which is honestly quite impressive. Every single game so far has been a 2-1. You know, obviously one way or the other. In the best of 3s in the first rounds. So it's a very even tournament so far. Big SO shots potentially coming in on the CA. Oh, no, some of them are running back. Nope. Not today, my friends. Oh, the barracks, they continue. The barracks expand everywhere. There are a lot of hand cannons here, though. To, essentially just instantly kill these Huskarls as soon as they pop out. But having this much army down here, dealing with, you know, a handful of Huskarls instead of securing or trying to defend this front side is massive. I think at this point, we're almost waiting for a GG to happen. Unless there's some sort of... Well, they're trading to this market, which is so close to the enemy. Holy balls. That is ambitious, to say the least. I wouldn't mind seeing Turkish cannon galleons in the pond with the extra range. 2 extra range means they might be able to range this castle. It would just be a nice meme as well, honestly. Everyone loves cannon galleons. You don't have Magadai, man. Don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. Leave it to Kiwi. Leave it to Kiwi with his onagers or use your bomber cannons. You don't want to waste all of your hand cannons doing that. The villager is still alive, by the way. Potentially build some more barracks here. Can't really sneak into Rayzor's base because he has a couple of castles around that will kill the villager, unfortunately. As much as I would love to see it. G'day, Oxy. How's it going? Goth's mid-draft pick paying dividends. I mean, yes. Yes, it is. But I don't think it should have done that, you know? I think he needs to cut another layer of trees there. They're trying to get through the wall. Don't honor your paladin, though. Oh, he probably needs to widen that gap a little bit more as well. Just kill one layer of trees here. 1 layer of trees is all that they need. But yeah, like the slow push to the BBT now is just completely... is essentially going to be unstoppable. I don't think they're ever losing this bottom corner. And now that the Teutons are essentially on full trade, getting some nice SO hits there on the cataphracts. But yeah, like full Teuton late game army comp at this stage should be insane. Yeah, exactly. As Boo says, like this worked because Kiwi and Nagus essentially did kill purple and forced Rayzor to swing back to the side to keep them alive, while Rayzor and Vaymir only, in quotation marks, killed Zack Attack. And Drogoth did a brilliant job defending with his paladin, taking fights when he had to, forcing them back, keeping his castles alive, and just buying as much time as possible for the rest of his team to start killing. And purple's trade carts, oh, because of these walls, oh, it's pathing really weirdly. But unfortunately, there's no ranged units to kill them. See, Red's making some onagers. I'm not sure why, if I'm being honest. there's not really any units being made on the top side that are... Oh, the villager died eventually. I think that Cavalier killed it. That's annoying. But there are still just like a ton of barracks everywhere. So the raid units are not going to end anytime soon. And the push on the bottom side. Woof! Those look like some nasty SO hits. Came in on Genitors. Nagus has got 6 bomber cannons with 7 more in the queue. Very, very large amount. You love to see it. I'm wondering where Kiwi's army is right now. He's just got some champs here. He needs more siege. How many siege workshops does he have? 3? You've only got 3 siege workshops on the front line, Kiwi. I don't like that. More siege workshops is what you need, my friend. More siege production, more rams, more SO. Did the Nagus Turks feudal steeliness buy enough time for soup? Off soup for Kiwi siege push to get through easier. I don't think it made a huge difference. But we can always like skip back once the game ends and take a look. But I think that Kiwi would have maybe been a minute slower. Maybe 2 minutes slower at most if Nagus hadn't done it. And instead you would have had Nagus doing a castle job. But I guess if the plan is always to fast him behind it, then playing for feudal age makes a lot of sense. Because your eco is sort of naturally setting itself up to fast him if you're playing in feudal age to begin with. Oh, and we're seeing some paladin coming in from... Oh, the top side, nice. And they're cleaning up the top of Orange's eco. Paladin are running in. They're going to start to raid this trade line down here, it seems. Oh my god. That is a lot of trade carts that are not working. Whew. Well played for Kiwi. Or Kiwi's team, I should say. Kiwi's team as a whole. Yeah, like let's just take a quick look at the like uptimes, for instance. Okay, it slowed down Orange's uptime a little bit, for sure. But Kiwi's castle time, considering like he was already castle before Orange was feudal, so I think if Kiwi just went straight mangonels, he would have been in and been able to do just as much damage. It might have just taken an extra minute or two, but I think it would have worked out just as well. The issue is that if Nagus is playing for a castle drop, then his imp time is maybe slowed down. It depends on how many Jennies he's making in Castle Age, I guess. If he's just building the castle, and I guess also the castle's in a worse position, because he would probably be like castle dropping up here potentially, or I mean, I guess like Kiwi Mangonel's in here. You drop the castle here, then you fish boom. Could be a potential play. And then you try to get into the eco. I mean, I don't think I should criticize it too much because it worked out clearly, right? They won the game. They killed their side pretty hard. They did a good job. So, yeah, the biggest issue for me was the top side. You got a Goth flank. Your immediate response when you hit Castle Age should, or even as soon as you hit Feudal Age, like, or after you click up to Castle Age, let's say, so like the midpoint. As soon as you click up to Castle Age, you need to send a villager. Honestly, you maybe even send 2 or 3 of them, and you need a stone wall for them, right? You build a full layer of stone walls, you build an outpost, and then maybe just chuck up a lumber camp in their base so the villagers are working, because they took far too much damage for no reason because there was no defenses for the Goth player. Like, even just like a single layer of stone wall would have bought them, 3 minutes probably. Because Blue wouldn't have lost so many villagers so quickly. He would have got his castle up to defend. It would have slowed down Rayzor and Vamir's push even more. And then given Giri even... Oh, sorry, not Giri. Drogoth even more time to mass up Paladin and start making trade. Yeah, I think that's the biggest criticism that I have for Kiwi's team there. Great game to watch. Oh yeah, 100%. Like, I think that is one of the games of the tournament so far that I have seen. In terms of a back and forth game with both teams having chances to make things happen. It's maybe not like the most impressive in terms of just straight up winning, if that makes sense. But no, that was a good game. Very back and forth. Everyone had their chances to make cool things happen. Okay. I also need to pay out the predictions. Kiwi's team won. Team Kiwi. Complete prediction. Am I sure that Team Kiwi is the correct outcome? Yes. Good night, Super Terrier. Hope you have a good one. Thank you for hanging out. Oh, King Boo, making some points. Oh yeah, 100%. Drogoth did a really good job. Like he was waiting for his fights. Um, he would run out. He'd try to snipe as much as possible. He didn't overcommit to it. Um, Obviously, starting to trade a little bit earlier would have helped out, but that's much easier to say in hindsight because you can't always afford to start trading when you're in a rough position. And Turks, and then they had Koreans, Byzantines, Slavs, and Berbers. Yeah, and he also had pretty good timing on his tech switches, right? Like switching into Helbs when he was running out of gold, switching into Onagers towards the end. Um, yeah, he did a great job. So remaining civs, Kiwi has whew, one, two, three, four, five, top four of their top seven civs left for Arabia, whereas Rayzor's team has four of their top 13. Which is not ideal, to say the least. Let's get 75%. I mean, if I don't get 100% this time, I will be very sad. Although, saying that, I can see a world where you pick Bengalis instead of Italians. Almost purely because Bengalis get helps and Italians don't. Otherwise, I think Italians is probably a better civ. At least in the current beget methods with, 18, 19 pop archers on the flank sort of things. But yeah, I mean, I guess in theory they could use Sicilians instead of Huns as well, but I don't like that. I think Huns is definitely better than Sicilians. And I guess now in hindsight, the Dravidian snipe kind of makes a little bit more sense, but I feel like sniping Britain still would have been better because I think their eco bonus, like their individual eco bonus, is comparative, at least like the early game. But then the team bonus is not insignificant, right? The extra 10% faster production speed definitely has an impact. Is the cheaper 75 food up really better? Depending on who's playing, yes. Because it's not just feudal age, right? It's also it's cheaper to get to castle age, which means that you get to castle faster and you get a crossbow timing faster, right? I think Bengalis is a smoother, more vanilla civ, whereas Italians you're relying on timings, right? You want to hit castle age, you would hope at least a minute faster than your opponent, with it being this much cheaper, assuming that your your eco is both equally touched versus untouched. And then just hitting castle age faster means that you should just be able to roll over your side if you have a decent number of crossbows and you don't lose them in a silly fight. The biggest issue for me is like when you get to Imperial Age, you don't get helps, right? Because it's very, very common to add in helms to defend your arbs so that your pocket can potentially play the other side if you expect them to be losing. Because, you've got the mismatched team strengths. And, having 40 helms to support your arbs prevents you from just getting completely rolled if any paladins show up. Bengalis also don't get Thumb Ring. That's true. That's something that I don't think about. I don't actually really know which civs do and don't get Thumb Ring, if I'm being honest. Oh, and the game has started. Let me open that up. I'm going to quickly run an ad so it doesn't show up during the middle of the game again. Or hopefully, as long as it's not a massively long game. Oh, I pressed snooze instead. Whoops. It's the wrong button. There we are. Okay. Let's get into this game. Also, you got a wrong civ. Lamoa. Which one's wrong? Where did I get a civ wrong? Come on, Boo. Don't... I realize that there's probably an add-on, so he can't actually hear what I'm saying. So let me just quickly type that question to him. Game 1, there was Hindustanis, Persians, Malians, Incas. That's correct. Chinese, Burmese, Japanese, and Khmer. Oh, you mean in terms of what they're using, right? I thought you meant in terms of what's already being used. Makes sense. Well, I guess we can go and jump into the game, and we will see what they've got. Okay, jumping into Arabia. This is game number 3 in this matchup between Team Rayzor and Team Kiwi. Starting with Kiwi's team here, we've got the Portuguese flank for Zack Attack, supported by the Kiwi himself playing as the Franks. The other side, we've got Drogoth Pocket as the Lithuanians, with Nagus as the Mayan flank here. Pretty decent civs all rounds, if we're being honest. On the flank here, we have Vermeer as the Italians, with a Pocket Magyars from the Real Hot Soup. Pocket Slater RS, Slate RS, sorry, with Sicilians. And then Rayzor as the flank Britons. Rayzor's jumping into flank. That's not what I was expecting. I thought Rayzor was going to be the big boy carry Pocket in this sort of a game. But no, he's deciding that he wants to be a hard killing flank attack, I guess. Whereas we see for Kiwi's team, he is the Pocket here. He wants to be the one that's moving around the map, forcing raids, trying to take map control at the end of the game. Oh, Slate got Howls. That is unfortunate at 15 pop. He's half a Vil behind in terms of idle time right there. Nagus has had a whole Vil worth of idle TC. What? Did he not do Loom? He's got Loom. What the hell? And yes, we do have Sicilians instead of Huns, which is a questionable decision, if I'm being honest. I do not understand why you would ever want to use Sicilians instead of Huns. I think Huns have got a better eco bonus. They got a better late game because they got Paladin. Yeah. I mean, like, eventually in the super late game, the Sicilians have a better eco, but in the early game, Huns are just so much better. And honestly, the early game is when the game is going to be won or lost quite frequently. Or at least a significant advantage on one side or the other becomes apparent. But I'm really confused how Nagus has almost a Vil and a half of idle time. Yeah, like the Hunt's team bonus is like insane as well, making all the stables work faster. And Nagus has only got 7 Vils on wood, and 2 of them aren't really working properly. Because like this lady here is going to get stuck as well, I think. As soon as she gets to 10 wood. Oh no, she's up through the corner. How did... What? That's crazy. I've never seen that before. But yeah, Nagus, the idle time is so rough. And his archery range is late as well. It's like, even though he's ever so slightly faster up to fuel age, his archery range is essentially at the same time. Oh, this is big though. Rayzor's barracks is being... It's not completely denied, but it's denied a little bit. Just to give a little bit of an advantage for Grey. Oh, I say that, but he's not that far ahead. Kiwi's being a real little pain there, though. Oh, they nicked 2 sheep, though. Losing 2 sheep? Oh, and he's lost a vill. Oh, no. Okay, he's killed a vill and he's lost a vill. So I guess that's kind of equal. Oh, no, he's going to lose another vill, potentially. Oh, my god. This is just hectic already at the start. This scout is, like, basically dead. You can't really fight them off. I guess maybe you can try to bait them into the TC like that. On the other side, we've already got the blacksmith coming up for red, as you like to see, getting that early fletching. Not the same call, though, for Mr. Nagus. And his idle TC time is continuing to increase. Oh, he's potentially going to lose a villager here. Simply through not paying attention. Oh, jukes her way. Oh, look at that wall. I would probably be sending her back to the TC, though. 8 HP, that's just ripe for the pickings of any random scout that's coming past. We do see the blacksmith for Grey and the blacksmith for Rayzor. Archer-wise, they're essentially equal right there. In the game itself, Rayzor's team does have a very slight military lead, though. That's the scouts, which is 3 and 3 versus 4 and 3. So it's the flanks. And also a spearman that's been made. 6 archers versus 6 archers? I'm not really sure. I guess it's just like some very, very slight, timings where some units... I guess, yeah, like the archers are popping out ever so slightly faster. So like they get their popper 2, and then the popper 2 for the other team comes out just behind it. Map-wise, these berries are nasty. Zack Attack might... He's Portuguese and he didn't mill the berries. How did I not notice this earlier? Why are you picking Portuguese if you're not using the Portuguese build? I don't like that at all. Fletching... No fletching yet for Rayzor. What is he doing? I mean, he does have 2k4 micro, so he might win this fight anyway. But, like... Yeah, like, if they all fight together, I think that there should be a huge advantage right here for Kiwi's team. Not milling berries? Exactly. Oh, that's just a free scout. Well, it's essentially a free scout. It's useless when it comes to a fight. On the other side, though, Nagus also has bad berries. But, it's understandable that he wouldn't have built a mill in Dark Age. But I would expect as Portuguese, especially if you see you have bad berries, you always want to do mill first. So that you can attempt to just gobble up as much of it as possible before there's a chance of it being denied. If I was flank Porso opposite Rayzor, I'd be taking wood behind my pocket. Bugger any forward res. You 6 sheep, 1 regular 4 berry support. Yeah, something along those lines. Just, like, the eco bonus is really, really powerful as long as you use it correctly. Right? Like, yes, you're behind on wood because you're on berries, but then, like, the wood trickle, helps cover for that deficiency. The hot soup is a little bit behind on scout numbers on this side. No armor yet. Oh, we've got another pause. Oh, and I've got the chat turned off. Let's turn the chat back on. Oh, the chat is on. We'll use the market, because that's important. And we'll turn back on the attacks, but not the tributes. We need the market so we can see who's trying to buy their way up to Castle Age first. But yeah, I think on this side... Yeah, like, look at that massive HP difference. Like, all of these scouts are injured, basically, and a ton of the archers are as well. I think that Nagus and Drogoth should be able to just push this back, take control of this hill. That's... Vamir is building a very early market. Why is Red walling the back of his base first? I don't know. Especially because, like, you would think that you would wall this gap here as the first priority. Super's having issues with his Discord again. Yeah, like, you see this. You wall that, and then it essentially does the same thing as this wall. Because your army sits out here, defending the goals, and then it defends the back of your base. At least for, like, the early game. Is that builder for any Dark Age into Feudal strat? Yeah, anything except for a dock first map. Yeah, any land map you want to be doing mill first as Portuguese. I guess that they do have the hill. Oh, and yellow's now got armor. Green's blacksmith timing is a little... Oh, the fog thing is... Okay, that's gone now. Whew. Who's the higher rated player for Warm Colors team besides Rayzor? Rayzor's number 1, Hot Soup is number 2, Vamir is 3, and Slate RS is 4. On the AusDraft Wikipedia page, they are in order from top to bottom. Oh, I do not like this trying to sneak around the sides. If you're going to do this, the scout player should be tracking where the enemy army is. Because if they see you doing this and they just die... Oh, I guess he does have the tower on the gold. So he's not too badly exposed at home. But this is risky. And now their army is split up and, like, there's 2 random scouts back here. What's going on? By the way, hey Soltu, how's it going? Kiwi versus Rayzor over here. So it seems like both teams have sort of had the same idea, where you split up the best players on either side, and then... Oh, this is big. Like, just denying the goals, even for like a minute like this, is going to completely kill Red's castle time. As well as, like, their production, potentially, but mostly it's the impact on the castle time. I think they should be backing up now. You keep shooting the... Yeah, you fire a volley at the scouts, and you back up. Fire a volley at the scouts and back up. Because, like, if the scouts are all dead, you can just run away from the archers. No worries. Because, obviously, you know, they can't really chase you. The fucking rod. He didn't instantly build the tower, though. Okay? He built the rangers and the blacksmith, and then he built the tower, I think. There's no tower on this side. And, like, this is just a horrible tower. It doesn't really defend the gold at all, but he was sort of half forced into building it in that position. Drogoth's scout numbers. Okay, he's still got decent scouts. He does have armor now. No bloodlines yet. For any of the pockets. It's minute 18 and there's no... look at the market. Look at the market. We need... Okay, yep. Desi, if someone can make a rod emote, we've got it. As long as it, like, you know, falls under TOS. I don't want to get banned. Okay, Kiwi's being greedy going up to Castle Age real fast. Rayzor abused the shit out of the market to go up to Castle Age. He's got 7 farms, which is, you know, almost the correct number. That'd be some idle TC time? Yeah, but everybody has idle TC time. Zach's got the most, though. Whew. What was that being deleted? Oh, I think that's just all there. Marod. I don't think this is a good idea, if I'm being honest. Yeah, you're just sort of asking for them to get up on this hill and then kill you. Like, if the red archers had snuck around all the way onto the hill and then attacked down, I think they would have been in a really great position there. Health-wise, there's an ever so slight advantage for Drogoths. It does look like Drogoth's team is going to win, but it's going to be very, very close, it seems. The archers backing away on the hill is really nice. Oh, that was a really good engagement, honestly. I thought they were in a really bad position, but they've equaled it out. Nagus just needs to back up at this point. I think the biggest issue at this point, why are you chasing that scout? Who cares? Is the castle times, right? Both the castles are up, but the pockets are up to Castle Age, but this flank is probably just going to get killed by Rayzor. Where are all the Rayzor crossbows? Oh boy, holy shit, okay. Oh man. Okay, we saw the swing from Zack Attack and Kiwi, and I was not paying any attention whatsoever. Super Rod. I do not see a tower. The crossbows are here to clean it up, but this is going to really... Yeah, Yellow's got absolutely no food in the bank, nowhere near clicking up. He hasn't lost many vills. I say many, he's lost a single vill, which is really good defense and good teamwork coming over here to chase this down. But it completely killed his castle time. So Drogoth should be in a massive winning position at this stage. He's in 3 stable scouts at this stage. Holy balls. That's a few too many stables, in my opinion. Boo is saying this is over. Which side is this over for? I assume you're going to say that Kiwi's team is winning, because you got 2 players in castle versus no one. Or, versus 1, I should say. Oh, okay, the Super Rod. A donjon. I get it now. I missed the inside joke. Oh, and Slate's not even on gold. Kiwi will win as both of Rayzor's pockets. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely looking to be the case. I mean, Grey is kind of dead, but Rayzor doesn't have the huge crossbow mass necessary, right? 20 crossbows is, you know, a decent number. But as soon as Kiwi's able to get to like 15 or so knights, he can take those sort of fights quite easily. Godfrey's 30C. Green, not dropping any TCs yet. He just has 3 stables himself. I don't know if that's necessary. I guess maybe they're thinking they just want to push, seeing as they've got a big advantage over the pocket. Yellow managed to get himself up to castle. It's impressive, I guess. I say, I guess. I mean, it is impressive to be able to get up to castle age that quickly after taking that much harassment. But already, Teal has 8 knights on the field, and that's going to be 12, 14-ish? Maybe like 14, at least 14 knights by the time Yellow hits castle age, I think. So, like, that's just an amount that you can't really overcome. Oof. What are these hashtags? That's just shed being shed. Do you need any more explanation than that? Yeah, and this is the big problem with the tower that Red's built, is that crossbows can just sit on the outside and still deny the gold, right? Honestly, looking at this map, I think that Red should have started with this gold. Because, like, this is so easy to wall. Your blacksmith and your 2 rangers go out this way, and then you can build a TC on this or something in Castle Age. Or you know, the tower as they did. Kiwi's trying to get out and about and raid with his knights. He's going to get some dual kills for sure. Where is Rayzor's crossbows? They're just completely bullying the hell out of poor Zach here. Yeah, Zach's not having a good time. I will be honest, but Rayzor's taking some damage at home, which is big. And now Rayzor's getting some emote spam going. Okay. Ooh, Yellow's trying to use his scouts, trying to be useful, get some raids in on Xenagus. But oh. Yeah, and like just as Yellow hits Castle Age, he's pushed off his gold again, so he can't afford to make Endless Knights. I mean, I say that, but he has a shit ton of gold in the bank, so maybe he can afford to make Endless Knights. Yeah, okay, it's not going to last long. The big problem is going to be losing all of his farms here. I don't think that Rayzor's going to be able to carry this game, because like, he's completely defeated his guy. But Purple's still super heavy Feudal Age. Not able to click up anytime soon. He's not even making scouts anymore, which is probably the best thing to do so we can go up. But all of Kiwi's team is in Castle Age. Everyone's dropping TCs. Oh, I say everyone except for Grey, because Grey doesn't matter anymore. Oh, and these villagers are being chased all over the place. Oh, this is nasty. This is nasty. Yeah, this is really well played by Kiwi's team. Okay, these knights have been trapped, but there's still another villager that can kill. Another one over there. They can get on this hill. Rough times. Like, I feel like... Oh. Yeah, I think if Rayzor is really going to be playing flank, they need to abuse it in Feudal Age and try to get to the pocket and slow down the pocket. Because he's going to win his 1v1, essentially, regardless. I think the biggest issue for him is if the pocket or the other pocket is able to swing over and harass him, right? And then like his faster castle age time was completely negated by the fact that they forced his army to go all the way to Yellow's base. So if he wants to go back and attack his flank or attack Kiwi, he has to cross basically the entire map to get there. Which, you know, that's just completely not feasible. And Yellow's running bills to nowhere. Not even making any knights at the moment. Huge knight mass out on the field from Green, if we're being honest. The back of Red's base is prime for the attacking. He is back on the front gold though. Oh, just losing some crossbows for nothing there. A little bit unfortunate. Oh. Yeah, you don't want to take a fight until Green's with you. Purple's made its castle age though. I don't know why there's a villager building houses. There's 2 villagers building houses in front of Rayzor's base. I guess that's a TC gather point bug. Worth giving Rayzor soup, or need to split the cap and first draft. I mean, I think that's just up to the teams, and they will figure out if they can kill fast enough, or if the other team can like hold on for long enough, right? Because you're committing to winning your side if you put the 2 best players together, and the other side needs to commit to defending. So it's definitely playable. You just need to be aware of it and have your strategy revolve around it. You can't just try to play normally and hope that it works out. Oh, and these knights are in. And purple's going to lose so many more farmers now. So much more idle time. Yeah, but basically, both of Rayzor's pockets are completely out of the game. And we see this already with like a 40 bill lead and a 50 army lead. And the pockets are just in such a commanding position right here. I think Rayzor is such a strong pocket that they would have a better chance with him as pocket for a weak flank than... Because, like, even if you fall slightly behind in Feudal Age, as long as you're able to stay slightly alive, I think you're fine. And Rayzor's got the carry potential and the macro potential. Oh, like, just like, sitting underneath the TT killing villagers is the worst feeling possible. Building a monastery, like, that's gonna do anything. This has been really, really bloody well played by Team Kiwi. I think even Zach, who died against the best player, did a decent job. He had enough crossbows to help clean up Rayzor's army when he did get up to Castle Age eventually. 62 vills between the pockets. Yeah, they got essentially nothing. Like, almost every player on the other team, obviously except for Zach who died, has more villages than the two pockets combined. PC's in the corner. Oh, man. I don't think that there's any chance of them being able to come back at this. Because if Rayzor was on his way up to Imp and had, like, you know, 50 crossbows, soon to be Arbs, I would say, okay, maybe you can keep playing. Maybe there is a chance that Rayzor can just roll through and kill someone. But Kiwi's up to Imp now. He's close to going Imp. Right? He's almost got the food and the gold. But he doesn't have a huge army to use once he gets to Imp. And almost the entirety of his team is pretty dead right now. Just masterful play from Kiwi's team. Like, the swing from his two players from Kiwi and Zach Attack was absolutely masterful. I'm not sure if they realized that Rayzor was up to Castle Age and they needed to force him to react to them. But just pulling his army out of position, just killing a TC. And even if Rayzor clicks in, it might just get completely denied. Alright. He doesn't have the second building as well, which is his issue right now, and his wood lines are all potato. Yep, that's the GG. Woo. Well played, Kiwi. Yeah, it's 2 TCs. That was an impressive masterclass in how you play Arabia. GG, good set. Trust in the Dravidian man.